They found a woman with severe injuries and immediately got her to Kern Medical, and that is where she died. Police did not describe the nature of the injuries. They have not announced any arrest, and the woman's name is expected to be released later by the Kern County Coroner's Office. A head-on wreck reported near Wasco. This happened Wednesday afternoon about 3:45, says the California Highway Patrol. That was on Highway 43, just north of Dresser Avenue. The Highway Patrol says even though it was a head-on, only one person was hurt, and that was a minor injury. Some improvements happening at Lake Buena Vista, particularly at the Lake Buena Vista Aquatic Recreation Area. If you drive by there, you will see some construction happening, and that will be going on for a couple of months as the crew puts in a new dog park, a new entrance sign that is already mostly completed, and for the kids, a new splash pad. That is all supposed to be done in time for the summer season. Another one of those Start Smart classes is happening for people who are just learning to drive. This one will be at the Buttonwillow office of the Highway Patrol and is set for April 14th at 6 p.m. The classes are 2 hours long, are free, and are meant to get ahead of any bad habits that people pick up when learning to drive so their consequences can be prevented. They say space is limited, so you can call the Buttonwillow office to register. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180. KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You gotta get up close like this. Little thing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing. For those subscribing on YouTube, it's the Ralph Bailey Show on opening day. Really? You weren't anticipating me? Really? How long have we been together for in the planet? New York, LaGuardia, which is one of the busiest airports in North America, New Orleans, and in Houston, 1/3 of the TSA agents are missing shifts. The TSA agents now are going on a month without getting paid, and this thing doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. I'll break down what the Republican Party is putting forward. We got more excerpts from Savannah Guthrie's interview with Hoda Kotb, and it's even more gut-wrenching than the ones we played yesterday. And we get into the five. I told you we'll talk with George Culver. We will also introduce the Sweet 16. As Mr. Burdick knows, all I need is Houston. And I have never been as nervous as I am, because I think if we get past Illinois tonight, I really like my chances.
You got a very good chance.
But I am so damn scared of Illinois, because I'm the only one in our whole bracket that has Houston. So if Houston wins, no matter what else happens, we're going to Sizzler. We're going to Sizzler.
Again, I got to double check that, because I don't know if that's necessarily true.
How could it not be true? The points that I'll get at the end, I'm in the mix.
You're in the mix.
I'll get 50 points and nobody else will get. How could they? You're telling me that I'm 50 points behind the leader?
Oh, no. It just, there's a column there that says total points possible. So it depends. I don't know. Again,
that's how
things that could happen.
That's how it was explained to me. And we'll talk about the IOC decision to ban males, biological males, from the Olympics. Perhaps that'll set the trend and we can end this nonsense. But we begin with the Trump administration and the Iranian situation, and how the president now says that a deal is close. But again, it's Donald Trump. I've begged and talked about that he's got to play this thing straight. He did outline what this infamous gift was, or famous gift, that the Iranians allegedly gave to him. There were 10 oil tankers that were apparently allowed through the Strait of Hormuz. And that was perceived as a gift. The Iranians still denying it, still denying any contacts with the United States. But of course, they're lying whenever they open their mouth. But here is the president today during his first cabinet meeting following the beginning of the war.
They're begging to make a deal. And anybody that saw what was happening over there would understand why they want to make a deal.
Well, I hope he's telling the truth. I am very skeptical, but I hope he's telling the truth. I really do. Because now we've moved paratroopers into the region to join the 2,500 original soldiers that were sent, the 2,000 additional Marines that were sent fairly recently, who are still on their way, making it a contingency of about 7,000 American boots. That's excluding the paratroopers that were just sent. This thing could get out of hand very, very quickly. There's talk of either taking Karg Island, which is part of the oil infrastructure of the Strait of Hormuz and the Iranian supply. There's talking of blockading it, but this thing could get funky very, very quickly. And time simply is not on the president's hand. Time is not on his side. He is battling incredible oil prices. And it's like, and again, this is why I'm saying he's got to play it straight. Because in the and I didn't cut the audio, but in the meeting today, in the cabinet meeting today, he kept talking about how much oil that the United States is producing. We got plenty of oil. We got plenty of oil. Man, a sixth grader understands that the United States amount of oil doesn't mean a damn thing to the global market. The global market is set if we pump out 1 ounce of oil or 1 trillion gallons of oil. The market is set globally, not by the United States. And so gas prices are only going to go up. And you tie that to what's going on in our airports, and then the fact that it's about to touch airlines as well, that those prices are starting to increase as well, something's got to change. Again, I appreciate and understand what they're trying to do. I just can't stand the way they are doing it, the way they're going about it. And now that a larger number of American troops are on their way to that region, it's a smart play because you want everything on the table, but that just gets us closer to a direct conflict with the Iranians. And with disapproval, here's the thing about a war that you have to understand, that is as basic as war itself. Either people are on board or they're not. What people don't understand about World War II is that this country on December 6th, 1941, December 6th, 1941, this country was absolutely divided. Absolutely divided. In fact, I think you could go back to historians who will tell you that most of the country were absolutely against us going to Europe. Going to Europe again for the second time? My grandparents and his generation said, I thought the other war was the war to end all wars. We're going back to Europe? No. December 6, 1941, this country was like, we're not going. And that's why there are these conspiracy theories that Roosevelt allowed Pearl Harbor to happen because he knew that would automatically draw us into the war and that every man that could stand up would sign up December 8th. That's crazy. But the fact of the matter is we were divided. And the other fact of the matter is when it comes to wars, and this is historically true, this isn't something I made up in my downtown palatial pad, but either the support is there when it begins or the support gets worse. That's a fact. And why is that a fact? Why is that a fact? Why does support for a war go down as it progresses? Because unless you're George Herbert Walker Bush and you can sweep Saddam Hussein out in 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 days, the casualty number increases. That's just a fact. And we're at 13 right now. And it's only going to increase. That's the reality. William Tecumseh Sherman said it. War is hell. Let's go ahead and take our first break, and we'll get to a much brighter note. I should have led the other way, but I had to start with the war. But I'll tell you about the Dodger lineup tonight. Yoshinobu Yamamoto to take the ball for the Dodgers. First pitch about 5:30, 5:35. Ring ceremony starts about 5:05. They'll get their rings. We'll hoist the flag. Just feel good about ourselves, basically. And then it's our march to 3P. I'll tell you about the Dodge line when we come back. Bottom of the hour, we'll get into the TSA situation. Mike Turnseed at 4 o'clock. Daniel Petrie at 4:30. And former Dodger George Culver at 5:05. You're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRN, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1.
Hey, do you want to do Big Mike?
You got one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Fucking gout.
$1,000 for a building that is burned down 23 times in the last year, and it only makes me ask, why the hell haven't we just let this thing burn down to the ground already? And then the internet is great as it is. Comment says, I hope the person that reports was fired didn't call 911.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I did.
So I had my first inquiry into
Yeah, I had a chili
Big
burger.
Mike's
Good.
Ragin' Barbecue, a new client, one of the best caterers in town. And yeah, he just happens to be one of my best friends, but he happens to be one of the best caterers in town. And somebody asked me, how deep does Mike go? And I said, well, he provides appetizers, the main menu, and side dishes. And Mike does the cooking. He comes with a crew. He comes with a rig. They do all the cooking. They do all the cleaning. They do all the serving. You do absolutely nothing but pick up the phone and call Mike at 393-5507. That's 393-5507. Big Mike's Ragin' Barbecue has been raging now throughout this entire century for over 25 years. Mike, a former NFL star, has used that discipline he learned in the NFL to engineer his organization. It doesn't matter what your event is, whether it's a corporate event, graduation, Mike is there with the grill and ready to cook. Call him again today at 393-5507, 393-5507. Big Mike's Ragin' Barbecue. And yes, after 9 years, they're still raging hot.
Look up in the sky. Yeah, that's what they cry. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's them. It's Paul Sheldon's team, that well-oiled machine of Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. Okay, not superpowers, but still thousands of hours deciphering Medicare's whims, fighting the good fight, learning what works right. Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. So it might seem old-fashioned, but hard work with passion most often gives you the win. And the trio that knows are those Medicare pros, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. You know, actually, to many, they are superheroes. Christine, Kelly, and Lynn.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Every business starts with an idea. With smart business buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at AmazonBusiness.com.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon, in stores at CVS, Walgreens, and now GNC.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry. This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey
They
Show.
don't make homeless people the way they made them when I was a kid. When I was a kid, a homeless guy was a bum, he was a vagrant, somebody down on his luck or whatever, a wino. They didn't have this Shutter Island going on that they had out there, like people talking to trees. You're like right here having like Eggs Benedict. It's like looking through a porthole over your cabbage. When I was a kid, you could only be crazy outside for about 15 minutes before a van would pull up and two guys in nurses' outfits would just come walking out. Hey, buddy, how's it going? You're making a lot of racket out here, aren't you? Why don't you do me a favor? Try this shirt on. You're like, okay. How come the sleeves are so long? Oh, because we're going to tie your arms behind your back because you're out of your fucking mind. That's it.
That's the way it used to be, and you were taken to a state hospital where you rested comfortably, you were fed, you had a bed, you were with your fellow psychos. But one flew over the cuckoo's nest, exposed some of the problems in state hospitals. Journalists and journalism was just rising to the fore because this is in the early 70s, right around Watergate, and a bunch of journalists started looking under the rocks of some of the state hospitals. A buddy of mine began his attorney career prosecuting such state hospitals for just ridiculous negligence. People with bed sores whose linens hadn't been changed in weeks. And state hospitals got a bad rap. And we closed them all up. And Papa Jenko, look what we got now. Look what we got now. 2 or 3 guys that literally live around my apartment complex and howl at the moon late at night. And I know these guys as well as I know my own damn neighbors. And we pouring millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars into helping the homeless situation. And again, Papa Jenko, look what we got. If not a worse situation, certainly just as bad. In the meantime, the Dodger lineup looks like this tonight. As I mentioned, Yoshinobu Yamamoto will take the bump for us. Shohei Ohtani, obviously our leadoff hitter. I still disagree with it after 2 successful seasons. I still think he should be lower in the lineup, hitting in runs, but okay, whatever. How do you battle success? Our new acquisition, Kyle Tucker's in the 2-hole in right field. They've moved Mookie Betts up to third. And remember who Mookie Betts was last year. You remember who Mookie Betts was a year ago, this very day? A guy who was sick as a dog because we started in where? South Korea? Or
It was Japan.
Was it Japan? We started thousands and thousands of miles away from Los Angeles. And he got very, very sick. And he lost a ton of weight. He was eating health shakes and throwing that up. He couldn't keep down food. And he lost literally 25 pounds. And as you know, if you've ever been to a Dodger game, Mookie's not a really big guy. And he got up to a horrendous start. And yet we did what we did. And he had the season that he had. So we've got a healthy Mookie in the 3-hole, and I think he's going to have certainly a better season than he did last season. Is he the Mookie that played right field for the Red Sox? No, he's not. He's battling what every athlete battles, and that's Father Time, and that's undefeated. So, no, he's not the same guy. But I'll take a 275, 23 home run, 82 ribby Mookie Betts in the 3-hole. Abso-freaking-lutely. Hitting the cleanup, Freddie Freeman at first base. Will Smith is at 5th. Max Muncy is playing 3rd in the 6-hole. They've moved Teo down to 7. That won't last long. Take my word for it. That won't last long. Certainly by the All-Star game, Teo will be higher up in the lineup. I think he's worked really hard. I've talked with him. I've heard him talk about last season, which to him was a great disappointment coming off the great season he had 2 years ago, where he won the home run derby and led us to our first championship with this set of ball players. And I know he's worked incredibly hard. He had a great spring, which was kind of an outlier for the Dodgers because most of the Dodgers had horrible springs. Shohei hit a $143 during the spring. Not that that has anything to do with anything that I'm concerned, not one iota. But I don't like him in the 7-hole, and I think he's going to come up in the lineup a little bit as we go along. Andy Paz is in the 8th hole at center field, and who's the new guy that we just acquired that we sent Kim down?
Kyle Tucker.
No. AF, the guy that we kept up for Kim. I've got it here somewhere. And don't start texting because I'll find it before you all text us because there's a 2-minute delay. His name is, please stand by, just don't go anywhere, Alex Freeland. We kept up Alex Freeland, and here's what the Los Angeles Times has to say about Freeland. He won the utility job over Hyesung Kim despite having a terrible spring. You see what I'm saying? in which he went 5 for 45. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They had 13 walks. There must be something about Kim the Dodgers don't like, though. They say they sent him down so he can get consistent daily at bats. Freeland won't get an opportunity here. Can he deliver? That's just the times. See, that's why I hate sports reporters, sports writers, because that's exactly why they sent Kim down. What's the point in having this young kid who clearly the Dodgers like, and I think the fans like him. I know I like him. He's fast. He brings a different element to this club that we don't have. We're getting older. We never really had a lot of speed, and this guy brings that in. Since we got rid of Trey Turner, we haven't really had speed on this ball club, and he brings that element. And why have him sit with Tommy and all the utility players we have? There's no room for him. He would end up sitting, playing once a week, maybe. So why not send him down to Oklahoma City, let him play shortstop, let him play second base, let him play outfield, let him hit every day, let him see live pitching every day. It's a smart move by the ball club because, again, we're different. They're not like us. They're not like us. They're not like us. And we are prepared. Everybody else is preparing for the beginning of the season. The Dodgers are preparing for October and February or November. That's what we're preparing for. While everybody else is trying to get their season starting, we're playing chess. We're already in September and October. Blake Snell, we're resting him. I love it. Don't panic. I like our chances. And as I've talked about, and again, I believe my feelings will probably change probably tonight, but I don't really give a damn about this season. I really don't. These guys, I don't think you really understand what it was like. I was a Mets fan in 1969 when we were living in New York in St. Albans on the naval base. And we moved to Los Angeles in 1971. And my YMCA basketball coach, Mike DiBartolomeo, took me and his son, Mike Jr., to a Dodger game for the first time. And I've been enamored with this club. Went through the hard times of the 70s, getting our ass kicked by the three-peat Oakland A's. Then came the Reds, and then came Reginald Martinez Jackson. So I lived through that throughout high school. Then finally, my freshman year in college, we break through in 81, and it's been a love affair ever since. Quick time out. We'll get to what the GOP is trying to do to get TSA workers back to work. It's TRBS. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Iran and the United States appeared at an impasse, hardening their positions over ceasefire talks and setting the stage for another potential escalation in the Mideast war as thousands more U.S. troops neared the region. Meanwhile, President Trump on Thursday extended his deadline for Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz to April 6th, and Tehran tightened its grip on the crucial strait. The Education Department will relocate from its Washington headquarters as part of the Trump administration's dismantling of the agency. The agency has seen its ranks thinned by mass layoffs since President Trump took office, and its headquarters building has been 70% vacant. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 469 points, the S&P lower by 114. This is SRN News.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. No arrest has been announced yet, and no ID has been given on a woman who was found with severe injuries last night at a house on College Avenue and who died at Kern Medical. Bakersfield PD is calling it a homicide. They did not say how the woman was killed. A former employee of the Dolores Huerta Foundation is suing, claiming they fired her over a fuss she kicked up about what she says was misused grant money. Ruth Sanchez also claims she was never paid for lots of overtime. The foundation says she was let go in an organizational realignment and is being reserved about any further comment. Gas in California, $5.83 on average, says Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180, KERN.
It's that man again for Sangera Subaru and the Subaru A Lot to Love event going on now through March 31st at Sangera Subaru. And of course, spring is the best time to get an incredible offer on that new Subaru you've been waiting for, like a 2026 Forester CVT. Lease one now for only $179 a month for 36 months and just $5,000 due at signing. And remember, every Subaru always comes standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive. And don't forget, this offer ends March 31st. So stop by and see my good friends Damon Culbertson, Hassan Levy, and all the guys during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Pick out your new Subaru for spring and hit the open road. It's just not getting bigger, though. Paving the way for a better community in 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive, the biggest automobile 24/7 at SangeraSubaru.com.
I almost asked
Through March 31st, 2026, lease a 2026 Forester CVT for $179 a month on a 36-month lease. $5,000 due at lease signing plus tax and license. Zero security deposit. 7,500 mile year limit. 15 cents per mile over. MSRP $32,183. VIN number T3030467. Product code TFB-01.
Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we're going to talk to Lori Malkin from JJ's Legacy, talk about organ donation.
I almost
we will
asked
have news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the internet at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Oh no! Is there anything I can do? Can I try again?
You know what? I'll ask you a question. If you answer this one right, I'll let you pass.
Okay, thank you.
All right, listen carefully. There's an old man and there's a young kid at the light.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you hear first?
The old man, suppose, because the young kid has the whole life.
No. You hit the brakes.
Which one do you hit? You hit 842-537-6842 KERN. What was I wanted to add something about the Dodgers so we get going. I'm not going to be used to Joe Davis, and it'll be interesting to see how he handles this. He has to introduce it as Uniglow Field at Dodger Stadium, doesn't he?
What do you mean?
As part of the new name, he's got to use it. He can't say live from Dodger Stadium. He's going to say tonight, live from Unigo Field at Dodger Stadium. It's open. And I just can't even deal with it.
Still Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, that's what the Chiefs said when they changed the name from whatever it is, blank blank at Arrowhead Stadium. But I don't like it.
And after looking into it a little bit, Lambeau and other places do this as well. It's still Lambeau Field, but like there are pieces of it that are sponsored by certain companies.
Of course, everybody's selling out. It's easy money. It's easy money. And you know who started it? Jerry Buss. Jerry Buss was the first to start it. He changed the forum to he was in bed with the Great Western Insurance Company in Los Angeles, and they were willing to pay Ben an astronomical figure of $1 million a year to put their name on the Fabulous Forum, is what it was known when I was a child. And it became the Great Western Forum, and then it changed again and again and again, and then everybody got in on it. Now, stadiums literally change their names every couple of years. They throw somebody's endorsement in front of their name every freaking 3-5 years, whoever the highest bidder is. It's just the nature of the business. But the Dodgers are going for our 10th championship. It started in 1955 with the Brooklyn Dodgers as we were about to leave town. And at the end of Jackie Robinson's career, I think he retired the following year. The Dodgers left Brooklyn 2 years later for Los Angeles. They started at the Coliseum. If you did not know that, for young Dodger fans, they did not start at Dodger Stadium when we moved to Los Angeles. Chavez Ravine was just being dug out, wasn't ready, and they played at the Coliseum at the football field, and they set up a big net because obviously the configurations of the stadium does not fit a diamond. So they had to put up a huge net, and they had a player by the name of Wally Moon. We'll talk about this in the 5 with George Culver. He knows more about it than I. But they had a guy named Wally Moon. They called him Moonshots because he could still pull the ball and get it over this net. And they won in 59. And then in the 60s was the Drysdale-Koufax era, where we damn near three-peated. We won in 63. We almost won in 64. We beat the Twins in 65. We beat the Yankees in 63. And then it was a long drought. Of course, that occurred when I moved to Los Angeles. And as I said earlier, we went through the first early part of the 70s when the A's were dominating. They went 3 in a row. And, I always refer to Reggie Jackson when I allude to the Yankees, but Jackson was on those A's teams as well. But he wasn't the superstar he was with the Yankees because that A's team was so incredibly filled with Hall of Famers. Sal Bando, Gene Tennis, Vida Blue, Bert Campaneris, Billy North, Joe Rudy. I mean, at every position, these guys were stacked, and they three-peated. They were absolutely unbeatable, and we suffered through that. And then Sparky Anderson put the Big Red Machine together in the mid-'70s, and we couldn't even get out of our division because the National League West, this is how stupid MLB is, the National League West, when I was 12 years old, consisted of, I'm not making this up, the National League West, meaning these teams are located on the western region of the continent, I'm assuming. But when I was 12 years old, the National League West was made up of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the San Francisco Giants, the San Diego Padres, the Cincinnati Reds, the Houston Astros, and the Atlanta Braves. Now, since I was born there, I can tell you unequivocally that Atlanta is located in the Deep South. I was born there. They tried to educate me there, but I wasn't having it. But I'm pretty damn sure they were like the capital of the Civil War. Well, I think it was in Mississippi, actually. I think Jackson, Mississippi. I'm lying. I was about to lie. Jackson, Mississippi was the capital during the Civil War. But it's in the South. Trust me on this. You just got to suspend your disbelief and trust me. Atlanta's in the South. And they were in the National League West. So now all of a sudden the mid-'70s come and Sparky Anderson puts together Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, Davey Concepcion, Cesar Geronimo, Lee May, Johnny Bench. And we couldn't get by those. We couldn't even get in the playoffs. Because back in those days, the number one team, boom, you're in. There was no play-ins. There was no extra playoffs. If you finished second, and some of those Dodger teams that would finish second would win like 101 games. The Reds would win 105. And so we went through that. And then now, after this unbelievable infield staying together for about 4 or 5 years, we felt like it was our time. And then came the damn Yankees. And yes, Reginald Martinez Jackson. We were in the whole 70s. The whole 70s. And I've told you the story. John Tempero and I got tickets to Game 2 of the 77 World Series, where we went up 2-0, where Bob Welch struck out Reggie Jackson to end the game. And Tempero and I skipped out of Dodger Stadium thinking we're up 2-0 going back to New York. Hell, we may not even have to come back to L.A. We may take 2 out of 3 in New York and win this thing. We're finally going to beat the Yankees. We're up 2-0. And we never won another game that season. They won 4 straight, beat us in 6. And that's the year Martinez Jackson hit 3 home runs on 3 pitches. He saw 3 pitches one night, and he hit them all out of the stadium. Still bitter. That's right. Damn skippy I am. Meantime, on a much more serious note, the GOP is trying to get the White House to now declare a national emergency to free up money to pay TSA agents because it is absolute, utter chaos. I told you my boy Chet missed his flight because of TSA. They finally got on a flight. Now he's stuck somewhere in, he's stuck somewhere in Virginia trying to get back to this side of the country. And I'm screwed because now he's not going to make it back by Saturday. His wife is flying out to South Korea. If you're not keeping up with the show, my boy Chet's wife is a flight attendant They are back east. They're flying home. They were supposed to be back today, and then she was going to fly out tomorrow to fill in for somebody going to South Korea, speaking of the devil. And therefore, it was going to loosen up a ticket for Saturday's game. And Chet was going to sweep down here from Sacramento and pick me up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for a 6:10 start. And he's stuck in Virginia. I mean, am I cursed or what? No, I'm actually blessed as all get out. This thing is crazy. It's absolutely insane. And it started all about the Democrats fighting ICE, when somewhere I read ICE is funded until 2029. And I forget who it was, maybe it was Howard yesterday who was saying, I think it was Howard, who was saying the problem with these situations is, okay, you make a stand and then you start throwing in little amendments. And that's what happened. Once it became exposed that ICE is already funded, then the Democrats had to maneuver. And then they said, well, you're right. Well, we want this and we want that and we want that. And then Trump ties it to the SAVE Act, the Save America Act, the voting thing. So then the Democrats jump in and say, we want this. We're going to stand tall on mail-in ballots, which the Democrats made a really good point. Did you see this? I was talking about yesterday. I don't think I followed through with it, but I told you that 2 statewide elections in Florida went blue from red. And I said, hang on, you're going to be surprised about one of the districts. One of the districts was Mar-a-Lago. Trump's home district was won, a state assembly seat, I believe it was won by a Democrat. And the other that's not funny, that's scary, and it's, I think, a prelude to the midterms. But the funny thing about it is, Donald Trump voted, of course, in his district, right? How did he vote, Chris Burdick?
Oh, God, don't tell me he voted Democratic.
No, he voted mail-in.
Oh, wow.
With a mail-in ballot, the very thing he's trying to get rid of. How funny is that? I mean, maybe it's not funny. Maybe it's ironic, coincidental, whatever you want to call it. Or, hypocritical. I found that fairly amusing. He used mail-in ballots. And again, this whole thing is based on fraud, which really isn't occurring, and it's just really kind of silly. Anything on the board before we get to the break?
Trump said Iran is sending 10 tankers full of oil. Who is receiving that oil and who is getting paid? Trump has already sold $1 billion worth of oil. How much is he skimming?
How much is he skimming? Come on. Really? That's your question? How much oil is he skimming from the 10? Like, I have an answer for you. Like, anybody can verify that? Like, you just didn't make that up? Come on. One more. Let's take a break. I don't have time for this.
That's all we got, actually.
All right, good. Let's go. Mike Turnipseed will join us at the top of the hour. Daniel Petrie with A Fallen Market. As this thing continues and lingers, we'll talk with Mr. Petrie at 4:30. And I'm really excited. George Culver is going to join us at 5:05. Do you know what's trippy about Meta and AI? So I posted a picture from, thank you, Kim Whitaker, by the way, from Honor Flight, from our tournament on Monday. George and I talking before the tournament started. And so I posted that on Facebook. And after I posted it, with a little caption, underneath, Meta and AI said, who is Ralph Bailey? And you could click that and it gave you a bio. And then it also gave you a bio of George Culver. It's really cool. I've got George's career stats at my fingertips. What do you think he pitched in? He had 97 decisions. What do you think his record was?
57-40.
He was 48-49, just a skosh under 500. But 97 decisions in Major League Baseball with an ERA, what do you think his ERA was?
2.4.
No, it's not a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
3.25.
3.25. That's still respectable.
That is damn good.
That's really respectable.
Dude, if you can go out every 9 and give up 3 runs, you'll win 20 games. Well, 16. 3 runs a night, that's enough.
Yeah, it should be.
Your ball club's supposed to get you 4 or 5 runs. We'll talk with George in the 5. In the meantime, quick time out. Don't go anywhere. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Thursday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 11.
Messmaker.
Friday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. We'll take you into the weekend with the absolute latest on Iran. Any movement on the possibility of an agreed-to peace we will discuss, plus what are oil and gas prices doing? How does the Strait of Hormuz look? And what else do you need to know as we head you into the weekend? All that coming your way. Friday edition, don't miss it. Come hang with us on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Keep it locked. Coming up at 4:30, our money man, Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The Dow and stock market is down. We'll talk about the war and how it's impacting our economy with our money man. And again, you know what Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors are all about. They are all about retirement, and it's never too early to begin to invest and begin to think about your retirement. If you are, give Daniel a call at 395-9400, 395-9400. His office is located right on the corner, 21st and Oak. Or again, just keep it locked. He's coming up this afternoon at 4:30 right here on The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The program host is a client and receives compensation and other financial benefits in connection with this advertisement, creating a conflict of interest. Experiences discussed may not be representative of other clients.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife, Mom. When you accidentally say happy holidays on someone's birthday? When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you? We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Trucordia, a new name but a trusted partner for Kern County businesses. At Trucordia, we provide business solutions that include comprehensive commercial insurance and proactive risk strategies to help protect your company and keep operations running smoothly. We also offer benefit solutions with flexible options for both businesses and individuals, supported by easy online tools and hands-on local service that makes everything simpler. For guidance you can count on, call Don Coons at 661-401-2280. Trucordia, building trust.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Police, open up. What do you want? We just want to talk. You have a warrant? No, but just come outside. We want to talk with you. I don't want to talk. How many of you are there? There's 2 of us, sir. Go then, talk to each other.
I'm sorry, I love these. I'm trying to infuse a little comedy in the broadcast. I just steal them off reels. Do you think they heard the Asian one, the driving one?
I mean, they heard it.
Well, the audio was kind of bad, and the accents, and didn't really come across. That you heard clearly, and the Bill Burr you heard clearly. Bill Burr, I love. Wasn't he recently in town?
He was, yes.
He's a good guy. I like him. Married to a sister. It's a great story. He met her. He got a challenge to play at the Apollo. And her father managed the acts at the Apollo. And he met her backstage. They became friends. And they just kind of hung out for a while. They weren't really even, he never thought about dating a black woman. I'm sure she probably never thought about dating a white guy. And through her dad, who managed comics, they kept bumping into each other at sets. And one night, finally, after 5, 6 encounters, he said, why don't we go get a cup of coffee? And they've been married for like 20 years. It's really kind of a cool story. I like Bill Burr. And I used to not. When he was younger. When he was like on Chappelle. Remember he was on Chappelle? He was on Chappelle. He was one of the writers of the original Chappelle show. And I didn't really like him. I think I might have been being a little bit racist. What's this white boy doing on a black show? You know what I'm saying? I might have a little boogity in him. I'm willing to admit that. But I like him now. Meantime, on a much sadder note, the NBC is milking the Savannah Guthrie interview. And I can't blame them. If I was the news director, I'd do the damn same thing. If I had a 20-minute interview with Savannah Guthrie, I'd play 5 minutes of it each day, all day long. And that's basically what they're doing. They played parts of it yesterday. You heard us play some of it. They played some more of it today. And they'll be playing some more of it tonight and tomorrow as well. And as gut-wrenching as it was yesterday, it's even worse because the thing that I suggested, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, I'm really not. Anybody could have figured this out. It's human nature. But the thing that I feared the worst, I think, is occurring. I'll let Savannah Guthrie explain.
Honestly, we don't know anything. No. We don't know anything. So I don't know that it's because she's my mom and somebody thought, oh, that girl, that lady has money, we can make a quick buck. I mean, that would make sense, but we don't know. But yeah, that's probably, which is too much to bear.
She's got to live with that. No matter what happens, she's going to live with that for the rest of the. There's no erasing that feeling that it's my fault, that I'm the celebrity, that I'm the people that see on television 5 days a week for 3 hours a day. And I'm the one who you can look up how much I make, $8.2 million. You can even look up what my husband made, who was a politician, who was involved with the Biden administration, and is now a big-time New York lawyer. You can even look up what he makes, which I think is like $16 million a year. And she's going to live with the idea that she thinks that this is her fault. It's like a child growing up in a broken home when they break up, and the child thinks that they broke up because of me. And these kids out of these broken homes aren't the same. And it's the same damn thing, even worse. And again, as I've said, and again, it's no, I should be patting myself on the back. I think we all kind of realized after about a week, at least, I was there 3 days in, but after about a week to 10 days, I think we all knew that this thing was not going to end well. And now it's my belief that I think the worst possible ending is going to occur. Because the worst possible ending is not the death of Nancy Guthrie. That really isn't, I don't think. If it were my mom, the worst that could happen is that they never know, that it's never solved, that they never get to have a funeral, they never get to say goodbye. And how long do you wait? Elizabeth Smart was found, 10 months, I think, almost a year after her kidnapping? And at what point, if this thing just continues to linger, at what point does Savannah Guthrie move back to New York and start her life again? She's got kids. She's got young kids. She's got school-grade kids. What are they? I'm assuming they're being home taught in Arizona because her husband joined her finally, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was holding down the fort in New York with the kids. But if he's here, unless he has parents in New York, I'm assuming the children are here. And as I said earlier in the week, this Chris Nanos, the sheriff of Pima County, he's on his way out. They've started a recall effort, and he ain't Cynthia Zimmer. I think there's going to be a recall effort against Cynthia Zimmer. I don't think it's going to succeed, but I think there's going to be an effort. But Chris Nanos ain't Cynthia Zimmer, and this is a much bigger situation and a much bigger screw up than anything that's happened here in Kern County. And he's going to fall. They're going to remove his ass. And as I said, repeatedly, redundantly, probably much to your chagrin, I've talked about it so much. It was day 2 when I said, he's just now calling in the FBI? 48 hours into this tragedy? The minute he discovered that this was a national story, he had to bring in the feds, and he didn't. And then he opened up the crime scene, and reporters were taking shots of the blood and chomping all over possible criminal evidence that obviously was still possible because they found evidence after the fact. Remember when they kept finding gloves and stuff and they thought that was all connected? That was after they opened up the floodgates and allowed the press to ramble around on the crime scene. This guy has just been inept and absolutely worthless from the get-go. And I try to be kind because it may not be his fault. I don't know how the size of Pima County, but could Donnie Youngblood and his deputies handle a national case like this? Probably not. The difference is Donnie would be smart enough to call in the FBI 10 minutes into this thing. So I can't even begin to imagine what she's going through. And if you were with us yesterday, you heard the audio where she says each and every night, and what are we going on, like almost 60 nights now, 55? She says each and every night she wakes up in the middle of the night and basically has nightmares about what her mother went through. Like, this isn't just a simple murder. This isn't just a simple case of losing a parent. This is a constant reminder of the sheer terror your mother faced before her, perhaps, end of her life. Waking up in the middle of the night in her secure suburb home in Tucson to an armed, masked man who's going to drag you away without your medicine, without your loved ones. And that's how, after 84 freaking years on this planet, Nancy Guthrie goes out. That's the memory that her grandchildren will grow up with. That's what Savannah has to live with and then try to go back on television. Life, that's why I keep telling you guys, life sucks. It's a struggle. 3 months ago, Savannah Guthrie had life by the tail. And now she'd be willing to trade her life for anybody out there. It's incredible. Mike Turnipseed is next.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. After 2 big jury verdicts against social media companies over their effects on children and adolescents, Mark Stevens with the Howard Kennedy Law Firm in London says the social media verdicts are a bellwether for court cases to come.
It's the first crack in the dam. The courts are explicitly treated this as a design defect case, not content moderation fight, not sidestepping long-standing immunity agreements. That opens the door to hundreds, potentially thousands of similar claims already queued in the US courts, the European courts, and around the world. And history tells us what happens next. One verdict becomes a pattern, and then regulation follows.
Penalties in excess of $380 million were assigned by the juries in California and New Mexico in cases that hold uncertain implications for Meta and YouTube. During a cabinet meeting, President Trump says Iran knows it has no choice but to negotiate.
So we estimate it would take approximately 4 to 6 weeks to achieve our mission. 26 days in, we're really a lot ahead of schedule. The Iranian regime is now admitting to itself that they have been decisively defeated. They're saying to people, this is a disaster. They know it. That's why they're talking to us. And they wouldn't talk otherwise.
Israel poured more troops into southern Lebanon to fight the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah. Sirens over Israel warned of barrages of incoming Iranian missiles, and Gulf nations worked to intercept fire. Heavy strikes were reported in Iran's capital of Tehran. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 469 points. The Nasdaq dropped 521. The S&P lower by 114. More at Town Hall.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had a lot of credit card debt and it stressed me out. But what I thought was a solution turned out to be a problem. I kept hearing ads about debt settlement that seemed too good to be true. And actually, it was. When I called, they told me to stop paying my bills. That didn't sound right to me at all, so I hung up. Later, I found out that debt settlement is bad, real bad. Then I learned that there is a right way to pay off your credit cards. It's called a debt management program from the great team at Trinity. Trinity had a plan. In the end, I paid off my bills, I saved thousands, and I even improved my credit score.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-990-6976.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
A woman with severe injuries dies in a Wednesday night incident.
You mean my natural
Police
birdie?
are saying it
That
was
a natural birdie.
a homicide at a house on College Avenue.
Barely
That was
got it
called
on
in
the
last
green.
night shortly before 10
then I
as an
fucking
assault
knocked it
in
in.
Bakersfield PD, though they did not say how she was injured. Says the woman's injuries were severe and she was immediately taken to Kern
I made
Medical
one
where she
on
died.
12 with you
They
2
have
weeks
not
ago.
said who may have been involved in
did I
the
miss
crime and no arrest has been announced.
One
The
with
woman's
3.
name has not been released. You should be aware.
Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Thursday. It's opening day. Yeah, I know the god-awful, stinky, smelly, dope-smoking, PD taking, got a little boogity in them, donkey riding, kazoo playing, orange and black wearing Giants started the season yesterday. And, of course, they got shut out. Their coach has never coached in the major leagues in his life. He's a college coach. They might not win a game this season. As the Dodgers go 158-4, the Giants could conceivably go 0-162. I'm just throwing it out there. Oh, look who's here. It's a Thursday. I didn't even notice. Our favorite god-awful, stinky, smelly, don't smoking, PD taking, got a little boogity in him, donkey riding, kazoo playing, orange and black wearing fan, Mike Turnipseed.
Yes, sir.
And you're not even wearing orange and black.
Not
I'm
wearing
shocked.
orange today, yes.
I'm shocked.
I already wore that shirt
Yeah, you
Tuesday.
did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
But anyway.
What is the state of your Giants?
You're so confident at 158-2.
4. They're 162 games. 158-4.
Wait.
Because what did I say last season? What did I say last season?
145.
No, I said 162-0. So I got to dial it back. I got to dial it back.
$20.
Then we go 158-4.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Okay. Put your money where your mouth is, bud.
So excited. And I had a chance to be there Saturday.
I heard your cry.
And it's slipping through my fingers.
TSA, your buddy
He's never going to get back.
President Trump is just affecting you. Crappy TSA. People can't get anywhere. People are in line for I heard 2.5 hours. One guy.
He was in line for 3 hours. They missed their flight.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody's making their flights. From what I saw on the Today Show
Didn't
this
they put
morning.
the ICE agents in there?
Yeah, but they're not
With no
really. They're
training?
just and
What training do they have to be TSA?
Well, that's what I
agents?
said. But there have now been 2 cases in the last 48 hours of TSA agents saving people's lives. A TSA agent saved a kid's life who was choking. Did the Heimlich maneuver on him. So,
well, there's
got
such a
that
high.
going for 'em.
That probably happens, but with media everywhere, covering every airport in the country, every day, people lined up. I mean,
do you know how to do the Heimlich?
Huh?
You know how to do the Heimlich?
Just get behind them. Right.
I've
here in
actually-
solar plexus. And
I've actually practiced on a chair just in case, because that is one of my great fears, particularly when I take home a steak. I'm like,
you can do it yourself.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You get on a chair. No, you get on the knob of a chair, and I've actually practiced that. And then there's this thing on the internet where it's like a mask and it sucks it out. Yeah, you seen it?
Yeah.
Where it'll suck the meat or whatever's clogged in your throat out
Says
of.
it saw say 400 lives or something, 5,000 lives.
Yeah, but that's a hell of a way to test it, though. You know what I'm saying? Because the only time you could use it is when you're damn choking and you're by yourself. And then, to find out that day that it don't work would be depressing.
But there's a police department that has them.
Oh, really?
And they showed a commercial with 2 policemen that actually used it.
Well, I might get it.
If I had a restaurant, I would do it because that happens in restaurants.
Mm-hmm. Remember the legislator, Pauline Longwood, was it?
Supervisor?
Yes, they were hosting a guest from out of town, and they were at the Old Goose Loonies downtown, and she got meat caught in her throat, and one of the guys did a tracheotomy.
The doctor.
Right there in the restaurant. Remember that?
A steak knife.
He took a steak knife and like a pen or something.
Yeah.
Because there's a little soft spot under your neck where you're supposed to make the incision. You can feel it. Right there.
The bottom of the V.
Right.
These bones.
And was it Pauline Longwood?
I think so.
Somebody like that.
That's 25 years ago.
Yeah. Easy. Might have been even longer than that. But anyway. What else is going on? I just want to tell people what happened after we played golf.
After we played golf.
Saturday, not Monday, Saturday.
Saturday.
You don't remember the lovely young lady coming to our table?
Yeah, ready for great lunch.
Are you going to make me tell my own damn story?
Yes.
Well, tell the story.
No, I'm going to make you do it.
I don't want to do it. I'm a humble man. I'm just a humble man from humble beginnings, Mike. A young woman came up to our table and said, Ralph Bailey, oh, you're my favorite Republican. I listen to you every day. And I wish I'd remembered your name in case you actually do listen every day, but everybody tells me that. Nobody listens every day. But if she is listening, thank you for the compliment. It was very, very kind of you. She was a local teacher.
Ralph Bailey.
She was a local teacher.
3rd grader, I think.
Third grade teacher. Very nice young woman.
Yes.
Much nicer than the woman at the bar, but I'm not going to go there. Chris, I bought a young woman a mimosa. Didn't even look at me. And as we walked out of the bar, didn't even say thank you. Didn't even say thank you.
Wow.
Like 21st century manners. Like, did not say thank you. Did not, like, just, all she had to do is all she had to do. Because I know you ladies is yelling at me. I know you're yelling at me. This is all she had to do. It's all she had to do. But not a peek, not a thank you, not a wave, nothing.
I told Ralph, you want to buy her a drink? You're sitting 20 feet away. You flag the bartender, gets her a drink. He gives a big high and up sign. Yep, and you give her a drink. And she never even looked.
Never even looked.
She thought it was a free gift from God. Or the bartender, maybe, thinking.
You think the bartender took credit? So here, this is on me. No, she knew who it was from. She wasn't going to thank Gramps. She wasn't going to thank the old black man. Just saying. Anyway, I digress. What else is going on? What do you want to talk about?
Just another day, another week in Kern County.
Yeah.
And all the, excuse me, all the news going on, the county, no quorum and conflicts of interest. It kind of exposes to how conflicted the world really is and how
small a community this is.
How small the community is, and a good proportion of people in the business community give money to politicians to get them elected, and how conflicts actually work and how the system works, because there's a year period from the time you get the contribution.
Right.
Because I was back there saying, well, why isn't Phil Peters standing up? Or doing the same thing? Then it would have been down to just Letitia.
Did he not take money from them?
13, 14 months ago.
Yeah.
So 12 months, there's a 12-month rule. So
you can't
be banned for life.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't make it seem nefarious because people give money. Not a town like Bakersfield. Because if I was a businessman, if I was Rogers Brandon, I would give money to all 5 supervisors. Would that not be smart?
And the county also has limits of what you can give.
Exactly.
The city does not. The county does.
Yeah. It's a prickly field that you walk in when you're going to criticize folks for making contributions and make it sound nefarious.
In my younger days, I gave contributions and bought tickets and went to all the events, but I'm an old man now. I don't go do that anymore.
Yeah.
No, when I got the Kern tax job, actually, I quit giving to any.
Right.
I've given to school board candidates. I've given to candidates, especially my alumni from Kern Leaders Academy that run for school board and things.
Right.
I've given them contributions just to say, hey, you're stepping up, you're doing it.
Right. So what's the board going to do when they return? They're not going to return for a while because of Easter. They come back, I think, on the 18th of April. Well, they're going to okay this because again, for the listeners, you got to understand, this isn't about the board determining whether the new service provider is adequate, but it's about the occupancy agreement, period, end of sentence. And that's a mere formality.
No, there was another step to that, because
What do you mean there's another step to that? You're telling me that it's more than just the occupancy agreement?
There's 2 agreements. There is agreement to hire the provider.
And the board of supervisors has nothing to do with that.
That is true, but there still has to be a process. There still has to be a competitive bid. There is a person at the county that reviews every contract that is sole sourced.
Teresa Gollner says, and the current Kern County Council says, because Teresa is a former Kern County Council, because the contract is $75,000 a year, it falls underneath supervisorial approval and a bidding process. Importantly,
I think there's a difference between competitive bidding and sole source. That's the question, because the worst thing that can happen is government just starts giving contracts out without competitive bid. That's a big deal. I don't care if it's to work on a sewer plant.
Well, then why is there a sole source avenue? Why is there a threshold for bidding?
There is a sole source. The DA has to determine that only one company meets the criteria. It happens, I can tell you, it happens in purchase of fire trucks and pickups. If the fire department or any other department or you want to buy a certain one, you have to find a specific thing on that piece of equipment that is unique, and you make your whole decision based on that.
Okay, what's it got to do with the board of supervisors?
Well, it's part of the criteria of sole source bidding versus competitive bidding. If you can't, and sole source bidding is not a regular occurrence because there's a lot of criteria that you have to make, and it's a lot of work to sole source something you to make it.
Is Cynthia Zimmer doing something wrong?
Haven't read the contracts, haven't looked and seen, but if she sole sourced
The answer is no.
If they sole source this, that means you made a determination. The only qualified company that you gave the contract to, no one else can do that work. That is a criteria of sole source. The piece of equipment.
Wait, Mike. That can't be the criteria, because what if you and I are bidding, and we're both capable, but whoever it is that's getting the provider just thinks that you're better. But we both meet the criteria, but they just choose you.
Right.
And if that's what the DA's office is saying.
But who was the other person being, what was the other company being considered? Was there another company who was actually
What if there
interviewed?
wasn't? What if they decide that we found a provider that we feel is better, and we're going with that provider? You're saying that so I just asked you if she did anything wrong, and now you're shaking your head, no, you can't do that.
No. Well, the point is, you have to have a justification, that there's a reason, a meaningful reason for a sole source. You can do
That's not what Teresa Goldner said. And that's not what the Kern County Council said at the meeting. And you were there, weren't you?
The whole point, that's why it came up. And they said that a person reviewed it. And as of Tuesday, it was being held up. That's when they brought the whole discussion up. I mean, there was a question of sole sourceness.
That's not why they didn't vote on it. They didn't vote on it because there was no quorum. So are you saying that had there been a quorum and Flores and Parlier had not recused themselves, that they couldn't have voted on it and approved the occupancy agreement? Because if you say yes, you're wrong.
I guess they could have. It was on the agenda.
They absolutely could have.
But there was a comment made that they're two separate contracts. There was the original contract and there was the occupancy contract.
Now you've lost me.
There's two separate contracts. They're not the same. There's another contract. There's a contract that hires the company.
And the Board of Supervisors has nothing to do with that.
Nothing through the selection process.
Exactly.
Except it has to pass county procurement rules.
That's not what Kern County Council said. You're saying something that the council did not say on Monday. They said that there was a glitch. That it went through the auditors and it should have gone through another route, but that because it was below the threshold, had there been a quorum, they could have okayed it and gone that route. Is that not accurate?
I know it went on for a long time. I wasn't worried necessarily about that part because I assumed that I was paying attention, looking at emails and things. But the point becomes that there was a glitch, and the glitch happened. So now that glitch will be taken care of when they come back. They have time to remedy the problem, and it'll come back when Mr. Couch is here. And
what's going to happen? That was my original question.
It's going to pass.
Yeah,
because
that's what I was trying to get you to say.
The two of them that are free to vote. You take the other three, put their names in a hat, because of political contributions would stop if everybody had to recuse themselves.
Exactly.
So
if everybody that took money from somebody couldn't do business with that somebody, we would not have business in this small town.
That's absolutely correct, Ralph. So what happens is the three names, and I'll just say Parlier, Flores, and Couch, if they're still all conflicted, their names go on a hat.
You need 3 for a quorum?
3 make a quorum.
So if Couch isn't compromised, has never taken any money from these guys,
Then they can vote.
Then they can vote Peters, Perez, and Couch.
And Couch might be like Peters. He's not in the 12-month limitation. He might be able to be clean, but nobody knows that. Well, they didn't go back and look at his contribution record. That's what you have to do. You verify it by his reports on political contributions, what he saves the money.
How long ago did Peters take money from these guys?
More than a year.
And that's all it takes?
12 months.
12 months.
And
see, that,
I think he and Couch were up on the old election, 2024?
Yeah.
That's when they got their money.
Yeah.
It's 2026 now. That's more than a year.
Yeah.
So those are the two, but I mean, I don't know.
I
don't know. I'm just saying that's how it works.
Yeah, I'm just fearful.
The day you record it and receive it, you can't vote on anything for 12 months.
Yeah. I'm just fearful that the message from this radio station is that if you contribute to somebody, it's nefarious. And I don't want to represent that. I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to be painted with that. Because if guys stop giving money for fear that they may have a conflict, nobody give any money. And it's a small set of people that contribute up to $1,000. I'm not giving anybody $1,000. You're not. You know what I'm saying? It's the players in the medical field, in the criminal field, in the political field. Those are the players. And it's no Watergate moment that these people are exchanging money to supervise. Like I said, if I was Rogers Brandon, I would contribute to supervisor 1 district, 2 district, 3 district, 4 district, and 5 district. And he might have for all I know.
And Ralph?
And if they ever had to make a vote on our radio station, would it be nefarious that Raj gave them money at some point?
But when you look at fundraisers, when people have their fundraisers, there are lots of people at those fundraisers who donate that don't do business with the county. There are.
Oh, sure. Of course.
And there is the contribution limit. So
for a reason, for that very reason.
For a very reason that no individual, no matter who he is,
can have amazing influence. Overwhelming
influence. You know, the limit's $1,000. You pay $1,000.
And if you, as long as you abide by the law,
that's law.
There's an
No, that's absolutely right. But I think still in this county, vast majority of donors to supervisors do not have contracts.
Oh, it's our teacher, Mandy. Hi, Mandy. That was me on Saturday. I heard it. Thank you. Hi, Mandy. Who's that teacher? Sorry, I didn't mean.
Wow, people do pay attention, Ralph.
You damn Skippy. People listen to this radio show. They're nutsy cuckoo, but they listen.
Yes, they do, Ralph.
But my big gripe, and I'll leave you with this, is, and I've expressed this to several people who are involved. And boop, 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 boop. It's over with now. The Open Door Network contract is dead. It's over. That issue is done. My issue has always been, why didn't the DA simply walk away? Why have your henchmen throw out a poison pen letter to damage the reputation of a woman that I think is incredibly reputable? I mean, like I pointed out yesterday, Mike, how many times have I been fired in this town? 4 times. And 3 of those companies have rehired me. And nobody has ever talked smack about me after they told me to get out of the building. And that's what I don't understand. You've terminated the relationship. You've ended it with Skidmore. Then why pile on the very next day? That's all I'm asking. Why?
I guess there's some fragile egos out there.
Wow.
It's like herding cats, right?
Yeah, good cat.
Politics is like herding cats.
Good cat noise. Mike Turnip Seed. Quick time out. Not a lot of time before we get to the bottom of the hour. Our money man, Daniel Petrie, is next. Everybody called in. JB and AM 1180 KERN.
Friday's Armstrong and Getty show. The deadline with Iran is looming. The Marines are on the way, and the world is watching to see what happens.
And of course, anything that happens in this crazy world, we will bring it to you with some honest perspective. A great story out of the world of the NCAA tournament. A player has scored 7 points all year, but is considered a critical part of that team's chances on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
He needed people to play with. So he brought
Are you
the
looking
dad
for a
and
one-of-a-kind
the son.
way to honor your
The son's
team or
in 10th
commemorate a
grade,
special event? Look
and he
no
can
further
drive
than Martinez
7
Martinez Challenge Coins and More, the premier challenge coins and specialty metals company in Bakersfield. With years of experience and a commitment to quality, Martinez Martinez creates custom challenge coins that are truly exceptional. Whether you need coins for your military unit, law enforcement agency, or corporate team, they have you covered. Their expert team will work closely with you to design a coin that reflects your unique vision. From intricate artwork to personalized details, Martinez ensures that every coin is a true work of art.
Hi, I'm Ray Martinez, owner and founder of the company. So don't settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary.
Contact Martinez Challenge Coins and More today and let them bring your vision to life. Visit their website at martinez-martinezllc.com or call 661-304-9589. Martinez Challenge Coins and More, where excellence meets craftsmanship.
How can you grow your business from idea to industry leader? With smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need. Go to amazonbusiness.com for support.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon, in stores at CVS, Walgreens, and now GNC.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online, there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Want to thank Mr. Tunseed, who, by the way, turned me on to bootleggers. Have you guys been to this place? It used to be Lamina out there in the Northeast. How'd you discover bootleggers? I don't see you as an adventurer, even out in your own neighborhood. Had to be your wife.
No, I saw that it opened.
Had to be your wife.
Yeah, she might have mentioned it. I don't know, but it
was pretty good.
It was closed. It was closed for a while, and they came in and fixed it up and redecorated and painted and did a few things.
It was pretty good. When I got that chicken sandwich home and wiped off all the mayonnaise, I got down. It was a good sandwich.
It looked like
it was cheap.
My pastrami was good.
It was cheap.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm in the 3 digits when we go to lunch.
Yeah,
but it was,
and that included the extra drink you bought.
Damn right. The mimosa that I bought, the ungrateful. Quick time out. Daniel Petrie is next. She was gorgeous.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Excellent news. Don Peters in Washington. President Trump says he will sign an order instructing the Homeland Security Secretary to immediately pay Transportation Security Administration workers as Congress struggles to reach a deal. It's an extraordinary move that comes as senators are reviewing a last and final offer to end the funding impasse that has jammed airports and disrupted travel. President Trump has delayed a threatened U.S. strike on Iran's energy infrastructure and extended a deadline for reopening the Strait of Hormuz until April 6th. Trump says talks with Iran to end the war are going well, saying Iranian leaders were begging to make a deal. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 469 points, the NASDAQ dropped 521. More details at SRNnews.com.
Yeah, to do an enema.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. A woman was killed shortly before 10 last night at a house on College Avenue, says Bakersfield PD. They got a call about an assault, and when they responded, found a woman with injuries they described as severe. She was taken to Kern Medical and died there. No arrest has been announced. A wildfire was reported to have burned about 1,200 acres Wednesday afternoon near the Kings and Kern County line near Interstate 5 on the Kings County side, says Cal Fire. The Paramount Fire was about 75% contained. A Start Smart class for new teenage drivers is planned for 6 p.m. April 14th at the Buttonwillow office of the California Highway Patrol. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be no, this thing is like
every day is
lay down on the thing.
No one can beat us, no one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare. We don't care. Take a look our way.
You're barely fit.
Come
It's
into
like
Carpet Outlet.
you're sitting like this, and you give you a button in case you can.
Carpet Outlet Plus installed over 1 million square feet of flooring last year alone. Over 20 years of Bakersfield's best flooring store means you can trust us with your hardwood, laminate, vinyl, and of course, carpet. Come in today to see over 100 waterproof floors from our in-stock inventory. It's probably been time to change your floors for a while, so call, click, or stop by today. Your free in-home estimate is waiting for you. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Can't even move.
Every day is sale day.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
So I'm not defending this woman. Yes, her attitude probably stinks because, well, she's from Bakersfield. 2, she's got to put up with dumb people calling 911 because, well, she's from Bakersfield. Which leads me to my other question. Who in the hell still calls 911 in this community? Expecting somebody's going to actually show up to your 911 call.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Now I've got
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Got pushed right. I got to it. It's 14 minutes. And it's freezing. It's a Thursday. Time to say goodbye to Mr. Turnip Seed. Good luck tonight. Giants. God almost think they got the day off?
I think so.
After starting the season?
So I have to double check that, but I think they have the day after that.
All right, well, good luck.
That's all for TV.
Yeah, you're right about that. We're on NBC tonight.
Well, they were on HBO.
No, they were on Netflix. They were on Netflix. Yeah, it was on Netflix. But tonight the Dodgers are on 17 KGT NBC, 5 o'clock, 5:30 first pitch.
Is this going to be all season long?
No, we're still on Sportsnet. In the meantime, we've got a Boston Red Sox fan chomping at the bit, our money man, Daniel Petrie. Who do you guys start the season off with, Mr. Petrie?
We are visiting the Cincinnati Reds.
Ooh, a very up-and-coming ball club, the Reds.
We won opening 3-0.
Oh, did you had opening yesterday as well?
No.
Today?
This afternoon. We finished about a half hour ago.
Okay. All right. Want to know. Nicely done.
Good win. Garrett Crochet had a good start for us, and we got some timely hitting. We got done.
It's good for the league when the Red Sox are competitive, in my opinion.
Just like Yankees and Dodgers.
Yes. There are certain organizations that it helps if they are in the mix. And
Isn't that odd?
Red Sox are definitely one of those franchises. No question about it.
You think that's just due to the history?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah.
Of course. And the network's desire to have playoff games at Fenway. Are you kidding me? Or at Wrigley?
Yeah.
Although that's,
In fact, my friend.
Yes.
The Red Sox are the sole reason that I became a New England sports fan.
Which one? Who reeled you in? Carlton Fisk?
Ooh,
Yastrzemski?
that's good. Well, if you remember the story, I've always been a little bit of a contrarian.
To say the least.
Yeah, I got sick and tired of hearing about the Dodgers.
Oh, goodness.
Sorry.
That's
No,
all right.
no offense to
That's okay.
Dodgers.
That's
I mean,
all right.
I live in California, so I understand.
That's right. I'm glad in
Well,
my Jackie Robinson jersey today, as a matter of
I
fact.
wanted to pick a team as physically as far away from the Dodgers as I could find.
Nah, that's just about as far away as you could get, I guess.
But I had to like them as well. And I thought Fenway Park was cool. You know, it was around 75 when, of course, you know, they were good and they played the Reds in the World Series and lost, of course. The Carlton Fisk game in Game 6. Anyway, it was around that time that I became a Red Sox fan.
So you've been tortured till the 21st century.
I was tortured because I became a Patriots fan, and we were terrible back. Once in a while, we'd have a decent team, but we were terrible for years.
Yeah, but I don't think any organization in sports has suffered the losses that the Boston Red Sox have suffered.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The famous Mets game.
We were close.
With Buckner.
For a long time.
You win Game 6 against the Reds and then lose Game 7 at home. Like, how is that possible?
It was
the Yankees Red Sox game where you were leading 2-1, and of all people, Bucky Dent. It's a 2-run home run in the 8th.
Near tore my heart out.
I'm telling you.
that one hit me hard.
Yeah. I mean, I went through the same thing. I just telling the audience when we started the show, I had to live through the A's in the early 70s, beating us twice in the World Series.
Yeah.
Then the Reds would keep us out of the playoffs. And then when finally the Reds got old, the Yankees would beat us 2-3 years in a row.
Yeah.
The 70s was my high school years, and they broke my heart every I almost cursed, every freaking year.
At least we have in common the dislike of the Yankees.
Oh, yes. A very deep hatred for the damn Yankees.
Yeah. I remember the Thurman Munson versus Carlton Fisk. Those you remember Thurman Munson, the catch of the Yankees. Yeah.
I got back from Europe August 2nd, 1979. And I went with one of my two best friends, John Tempero, and Ed Skelly, our mutual best friend, came to pick us up at the airport. And the first thing he told us, August 2nd, 1979, he said, "Have you guys heard?" And we're like, "What, dude? Welcome us home. We just got back from Europe." And he said, "Thurman Munson died yesterday in a plane crash."
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, "Get out of here. You're joking." Like, no, dude, apparently he was a pilot. It was during the All-Star break. He was flying home to Cleveland, and he crashed in a single-engine Cessna. And I damn near cried, and I hated the Yankees.
Yeah.
But if there was one Yankee that I liked, it would have been Thurman Munson.
Yeah.
It really was, because he stood up to Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
And he talked smack, and I loved Thurman Munson. It was sad. It was really sad.
The game was different back then. I mean, sports, it seemed like it was, I don't know.
It was completely different. It was a whole different deal. But
so was the world, I suppose.
Exactly. As the world has changed since the Iranian conflict, and the stock market doesn't like what's going on these days, Daniel.
Well, it's very
Or am I wrong?
It's hard because of Trump's
bombacity.
Messaging.
Yes.
Or you don't know. I mean, you come to doubt what he's saying, or it changes so quickly, or the timing. Like, why does he make announcements when, the market's bad, and it seems like this announcement will help? Is that why he does it, or is it true?
We're close to a deal.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to be that pessimistic, but
me either.
It's hard. I don't know how to say that. It's hard not to.
Yeah, it's hard to be skeptical of what he says, because we've caught him so many times not being straight about this. And I've been screaming since the beginning of Epic Fury, he's got to be different here. He's got to play this straight. He really does.
It's hard. I don't know why it's so hard for him. And I wonder, in his head, is he playing it straight? And this is just how he is. And I don't know.
I don't either. I can't figure it out. I really can't. And how he pretends not to understand that
the other side,
that oil prices aren't dictated by how much oil we produce.
No.
He had a cabinet meeting today, and he said, we have enough oil. We're pumping out oil hand and fist. It's drill, baby, drill. That's got nothing to do with the global price of oil.
Right. You're talking two different things.
Yes.
It's awesome that we have enough oil.
Absolutely.
And we can manage it better than others, but that doesn't mean the price of oil won't be high, because oil is it's a global price.
Absolutely.
It's not a U.S. production price.
Yeah. And why he's lying to the American public and saying, well, if we wrap this thing up soon, the prices will immediately come down. That's not true either, is it? It's going to take a while for prices to come back down. If it ended today, it would still take weeks for prices to come back down. Am I wrong about that?
Well, I don't know if they'd come back to where they were, but they would drop. They would drop pretty well, because remember, the market likes to look ahead. So it's starting to think, how long will it last? We better prepare for a longer. And then if it subsides, people will jump on the other side. But it is always hard to know.
Yeah.
And we still don't know what we're doing. I mean, we don't even know if the negotiations are real.
The Iranians say they're not. The president says they are. Pakistan is ready to host them. He claims that the gift that he was alluding to, we played some audio for you a couple of days ago, was the allowing the 10 oil tankers to get out of the strait.
Right.
But if you look at both peace proposals, both from the Iranians and our government, they're not even close.
No, we're not.
Because they want to still run the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, I've read them, and I'm thinking, well, this isn't going to work. And on the other side, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, and they want reparations for war damage. That ain't happening.
Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible that he is speaking with someone, but that person he's speaking to is not in charge?
Well, I think that is the $64,000 question, Daniel. That's a great question. Who the hell is in charge?
Right. Well, and maybe they don't know, or
I don't think it's clear, because from what I understand, the Israelis, and I wrote his name down, but I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but the Israelis killed the guy who was in charge of the Strait of Hormuz, to make it simple.
I heard they killed the leader today.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear anything more than a little. I read it. I didn't get a name, and I thought, well, and it's hard to know, how can we negotiate on good faith when Israel and Iran are still bombing each other?
Yeah, and Khomeini, we haven't seen Khomeini's son, who's supposed to be the leader. He's given out press releases, but we haven't seen him since he lost his dad, his mom, his wife, and his kids. So I'm presuming he's critically injured or dismembered, maybe even dead. They don't want to let it go. But I just, I want to support this thing because men and women are in harm's way.
Amen.
But we got 7,000 troops over there now, Daniel, and another 1,000 paratroopers on the way.
Well, thank you. You went right into my next question for you, and I'm assuming it's a yes. Do you think there'll be boots on the ground soon?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think in very small contingencies, but yes. I think in concert with the Israelis, I think we're going to have to put boots on the ground.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. That island, they basically need to get the strait open again, and that island is important. And I think there's what do you call the Iranian Guard or whatever? They have an island there. It's like their headquarters or something.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to take that as well.
Yeah, there's word that we may blockade it, or we might just invade it with boots. That's what I think the paratroopers are there for.
And I don't think that will take us. I mean, I don't know what kind of defense Iran can put up at this point.
Well, they're still lobbing ballistic missiles.
Yeah,
and I think that proves Trump's point. You know what I'm saying? Stay with me on this. Stay with me for a second here. Yeah. Because if we bombed the crap out of them for 6 weeks or 4 weeks, and they still have the ability to lob bombs and ballistic missiles at Israel, then that means that they were definitely an imminent threat before this whole thing started.
Right. They were pretty darn well armed.
They had to have been. If they've still got ammunition, if they've still got missiles, they were armed to the teeth before this thing started.
And while they may have obliterated their nuclear site, they still had weapons-grade uranium. Well, they still had uranium to make potential nuclear weapons.
And the only way to get at that is with boots on the ground. That's what scares the crap out of me.
I can't imagine it turns into some kind of quagmire, but I pray that doesn't happen.
If the casualty count gets into the 3 digits, Daniel, this thing is over. I mean, support is at disapproval is at 59% with 13 dead.
We don't have an appetite for it already.
No, we do not. 13 dead, and it's 59%. What do you think it's going to be like when it's 37 dead, 58 dead, 107 dead? Approval is going to wane quickly. And so they better, and there's a chance, I'm not giving up, there's a chance they could wrap this thing up in 2 or 3 weeks. Because, I mean,
it would be great news. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I actually think even if he stumbled upon a hornet's nest that he shouldn't have got into, I think he could get lucky.
He really could. He really could. And as Pahlavi has said, the Shah's son, he believes that Trump is going to go down as the greatest Iranian hero in the history of the Iranian-American relationship.
Well, from your lips to God's
ears. No kidding.
Let's hope that does actually happen.
Yeah, we have to pray. It's the only thing we can do at this point.
Why? I'm assuming, I want to take him on good faith that we went in for the appropriate reasons, even though you could make an argument there are 4 or 5 different reasons why we went in. Why do you think you went in?
I really don't know, Daniel. I really don't. I really don't. Why now? I think
the Israel thing, I think, was a major. I don't know if that was the reason, but it was a significant reason.
Yeah, I think he deduced that at some point Iran and Israel are going to get into it. We're going to get into it anyway. So why don't we go in now while they're at their weakest? I think that's if I had to come up with a thesis, that's what it was, and I think that's what Rubio expressed from the get-go.
Yeah,
he expressed it differently, but yeah. Eventually, these two, what are these two going to be, like good neighbors? No. Yeah. They're going to go at it at some point. Let's go get them while they're weak.
And I think Israel even made an announcement that we are going to, even if the U.S. does not.
Yeah. So, and if that, and of course, there's the hard anti-Semites who describe what we just described as Israel dragging us into the war.
Right. Like they're the leader of our nation.
Yes. Yes. And that I think is absolutely inaccurate. But
I agree. Well, everything is just enough fuel for the left to make their case of, what a bumbling, stumbling idiot he is.
Oh, yeah. They're rooting.
Not true, but
it's almost as if they're rooting for the Iranians. They truly want Epic Fury to fail.
It makes me, I feel sick for what our country has.
It's morphed into something that it wasn't when we were kids, that's for sure.
Great word, morphed into.
Yeah, it sure has. Let's go out on a check on the deficit and silver and gold.
Okay, deficit, the same old story. It did climb. It climbed to roughly the normal amount.
29?
A little over. We're sitting at almost a little over 39 trillion, 39 billion and change there, just climbing away. No change. I can't imagine that getting better with the amount of money we're spending.
11 billion a day.
I can't believe that. And the longer it goes, the worse it'll be. Even when it finishes, we're going to have to replenish. It's wars are expensive,
and they're about to ask Congress for another 200 billion.
If we were in a much better financial state, it wouldn't, but this makes me a little sick to my stomach.
Just a little bit, considering that we spent 800 billion in Afghanistan in 19 years, and we've been at this almost 2 months, and we're asking for 200 billion.
Yeah,
it's pretty frightening, Daniel.
I guess my stomach was already upset anyway. So
yeah,
what does it matter?
Let's just all cross our fingers.
Yep, gold and silver fell again for the week.
Oh no!
Gold is sitting right around 4,400, which seems to be. I would make the case that we are forming a bottom in this area, but there's been damage on the chart, so it's kind of a back and fill. But I would expect that to trend higher from this area. And silver's sitting a little below 69.
Ooh, wow, that took a tumble.
I would make the same argument for silver, although it's been much more volatile, and the low has been a little lower. But we seem to be trying to form a bottom in the high 60s there, from whence we can head north.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's certainly hope
so. It's odd because usually turmoil and war is good for the precious metals, but it seems to me that somebody's liquidating just based on the market. Like they're getting margin calls because their equity positions are underwater, and they have to sell gold as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's true. It's just kind of a feeling on my part.
All right. I trust your feelings, Daniel.
Well, knock on wood.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right.
Have a good weekend, sir. We'll talk to you next week.
Go Dodgers and pray for America.
Exactly. In that order. No, not in that order.
Have a good weekend.
You too. You too.
All right.
Daniel Petrie. Call him in his office if you're thinking about retirement, 395-9400, 395-9400. Or go see him at his office. They're right on the corner of 21st and Oak. Quick timeout. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. Our good friend, former Dodger, once threw a no-hitter for the Cincinnati Reds, and the finest pitching instructor in Kern County, and a pretty damn good golfer. George Culver will join us at 5:05. I would stick around if I you.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
Casey?
Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we're going to talk to Lori Malkin from JJ's Legacy, talk about organ donation. We will have news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the internet at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Thinking about date night this weekend? Where would you rather be than on F Street in the capable hands of Cassie Vittle's incredible staff at KC Steakhouse? And don't forget, on the weekdays, they've got a new happiest of hour, they're calling it, from 2 to 5, and then 8 to 9. Lower priced well drinks and house wine, food specials lowered like steak bites with bell peppers and onions, calamari, shrimp cocktail, mozzarella sticks. And of course, Jimmy and Bobby are providing live music Tuesday through Saturday. And in the secret spot next door, the Stockyard Speakeasy, they're waiting for your business as well. Haley is in there Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday nights. And Lottie is providing live music in there as well. Enjoy a craft cocktail. You can have dinner. And Cassie has a beautiful banquet room for luncheons, election parties, meetings, whatever it may be. Get to F Street. Head to KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry. This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Ready to free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon, in stores at CVS, Walgreens, and now GNC.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
842-5376, 842-KERN. Anything?
Yeah, I got a couple here.
What do you got?
Iran is winning this war strategically. They shut down a large part of the world's oil flow, which is going to cause inflation and an economic slowdown. Iran just has to outlast the U.S.
Let me put this as carefully as I can. You're an idiot. There is no one, not one pundit on television, analyst within blogs, podcasts, other than you, that believes that the Iranians have the upper hand in what's going on. Now, you can argue we've handled it badly, the rolling out, which I have criticized. You can say we don't have an exit plan, that this thing could expand. But no one but you believes that somehow a country the size a little bit bigger than Texas is outdueling us militarily. That's about as dumb a thing as I have ever heard. Can they outlast us? If you had led with that, perhaps I would agree with you. But this ain't Vietnam. These aren't guerrilla warfare people that are taking us out. We're almost 2 months into this, and there are 13 casualties, and 6 of those were an accident. It's a byproduct of what we're doing, I agree. But nobody but you, in your limited IQ, has assessed this situation and says the Iranians are kicking the United States' ass. That is laughable, literally. What else you got? Please give me something with some IQ in it.
Ralph, since 2016, you have been skeptical. While, yes, you still support Trump, you have been leery of him. You consistently have been saying he is reckless in what he says.
True.
When will you learn that everything he says with a purpose? You just don't know what that purpose is yet.
Well, that's a ridiculous way to conduct a war. You're right. You can run a campaign like that. You can win elections like that. But don't you think to have a murky vision in war is about as dumb a thing as you've ever heard of? Did we not learn our lesson from Vietnam? That we entered it piecemeal? We started with Eisenhower, and then Kennedy put in surveillance troops, and then Johnson either made up the Gulf of Tonkin or the Gulf of Tonkin was a real issue, and we started putting in hundreds of thousands of troops, and then we put in 500,000 troops. Didn't we learn our lesson from that? Apparently not. Apparently not. But to say that, oh, he's just throwing curveballs, you don't want to throw curveballs in a war. You want your message crystal clear. And now Trump's backed up his deadline. He set a deadline for the Iranians today, and I buried the lead. He's backed that up, which makes your word worthless. You've got to be crystal clear. When you say something, the opponents have to be like, he means this. He ain't bluffing. This ain't a real estate deal. This ain't a campaign. This is a regional conflict that involves other nations. And the last thing you want to do is send curveballs.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Pete Peters in Washington. The International Olympic Committee announced Thursday that it would restrict women's sports to biological females as determined by a genetic test. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has more.
The policy will go into effect for the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games onwards. The IOC adopted as the standard a test for the gene associated with the sex-determining region Y protein, also known as SRY. The SRY gene is responsible for the initiation of male sex determination. Transgender activists have insisted that men who identify as women should be allowed to compete in women's sports. Critics have long argued, however, that women's sports must be kept separate to allow women to compete on a level playing field, and that men enjoy biological advantages that undermine fairness in women's sports. Bernie Bennett reporting.
New U.S. Census Bureau population estimates show that U.S. growth in metro areas slowed sharply as immigration dropped.
The Bureau reports that the average metro growth rate fell from 1.1% in 2024 to 0.6% in 2025. The data covers a one-year period ending in July 2025. Metro areas along the U.S.-Mexico border saw the steepest declines as the number of immigrants fell. Big immigration hubs also saw significant drops. Miami-Dade County, Harris County in Texas, and Los Angeles County all took in far fewer immigrants last year. John Scott reporting.
President Donald Trump says he will sign an order instructing the Homeland Security Secretary to immediately pay Transportation Security Administration workers as Congress struggles to reach a deal. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down by 469 points. The Nasdaq dropped 521. The S&P lower by 114. More at townhall.com.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had a lot of credit card debt, and it stressed me out. But what I thought was a solution turned out to be a problem. I kept hearing ads about debt settlement that seemed too good to be true. And actually, it was. When I called, they told me to stop paying my bills. That didn't sound right to me at all, so I hung up. Later, I found out that debt settlement is bad, real bad. Then I learned that there is a right way to pay off your credit cards. It's called a debt management program from the great team at Trinity. Trinity had a plan. In the end, I paid off my bills, I saved thousands, and I even improved my credit score.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-990-6976.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
A woman with severe injuries dies in a Wednesday night incident. I'm Chris Davis. Police are saying it was a homicide at a house on College Avenue. That was called in last night shortly before 10 as an assault in Bakersfield PD, though they did not say how she was injured. Says the woman's injuries were severe and she was immediately taken to Kern Medical where she died. They have not said who may have been involved in the crime and no arrest has been announced. The woman's name has not been released. You should be aware of a wildfire that was about 75% contained Wednesday afternoon, but it already burned about 1,200 acres. That is on the Kings County side of the Kings and Kern County line near Interstate 5, according to CAL FIRE. It has been named the Paramount Fire and was first reported about 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. A wrongful termination suit has been filed against the Dolores Huerta Foundation by former employee Ruth Sanchez. 23 ABC reports Sanchez claimed that she was fired for kicking up a fuss about a misused grant in the amount of $95,000. The suit also says that Sanchez worked a lot of overtime and was never paid for it. The foundation is only saying that Sanchez was let go as part of an organizational realignment and is offering very little other comment. A head-on wreck was reported near Roscoe Wednesday afternoon, but even though it was a head-on, only one minor injury has been reported with it. The California Highway Patrol says that happened about 3:45 p.m. on Highway.
Yeah, last one's adaptive.
What time is that?
Right now.
At 5:15?
Yeah.
Okay.
83 per gallon, says Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think? This is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get a post like this. Bing! You blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Thursday, 26th day of March. Still lots to do in our final hour. The Sweet 16 is underway, Mr. Bennett. Underway. And I'm in two different pools, our AGM pool and a much larger pool with about 125 players. So I'm in the middle of the pack of that one. I couldn't care less. But I don't care what Burdick says. If the Houston Cougars win, I'm pretty sure if I don't win, I got to get at least second.
No, again, I'm pretty sure you do win. I just don't know exactly how the point breakdown looks like.
Yeah. Well, I got a big game tonight against Illinois. The Cougars playing Illinois tonight. I think it's 7:00.
I need your Cougars to get all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Then I have a good chance. But
well, with Florida out, like our chances aren't they in the same bracket with Houston?
Yes.
And they are OUT. So
yeah, right now it looks like Nebraska might be taking out Iowa as well.
Nebraska's winning?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Right? 130 years, and they can barely win anything until now.
Do you see what the NIL is doing?
Yeah.
You know, there's a really bad part of the NIL. These kids going to 5 different schools in 4 years. It's
they're
crazy.
going to fix that.
They are going to fix that. But at the same point, it's kind of spread out the talent. And instead of a guy who could start at Nebraska sitting on the bench at Auburn, he goes to Nebraska and scores 26 points a night.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's made it where we're seeing these teams like, what was that, High Point and VCU and Nebraska, you know, getting deep into the tournament. It's crazy. It's good for basketball, but I still don't like the NIL stuff. In the meantime, as we started the show, it's opening day. In fact, the ceremony has probably already begun. First pitch in about 23 minutes. And of course, we brought in the finest pitching instructor in Kern County, a former Dodger, pitched a no-hitter in Major League Baseball. Our good friend, George Culver, author and overall good egg. How are you, George?
I'm doing good, Ralph. Hey, listen, I bet on you guys at that 100 flight term the other day. Did you guys win?
Well, that was a hell of a mistake on your part, boy. I'll tell you that.
You guys had odds.
Did you hear what the winning score was?
No,
I think it was
no things, Ralph. Was no telling.
22 under.
And who kept score?
Exactly. At BCC, 22 under. That's crazy.
I know. It's just that's why I don't like playing with terms anymore, because you can't trust anybody. They'll buy. Here's the deal, Ralph. In my term, we don't sell mulligans. So the reason is because they'll buy 1 and use 5.
Right. Yeah, we sell 2 apiece, but you're right. And I can even say, I think our group probably, we had 8. I think we used more than 8. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure we did.
That's what the fun of it is. Everybody cheats on this thing. It's about money making. It's about making money for the
Exactly.
It's a great deal. So
you're familiar with hole 14 at BCC? They always use it for the long drive. It's a really long par 4.
Yeah.
A guy hit it. Kevin Phelps. Never heard of him. Never met him. Hit it like 353. They had I think 80 yards in on that par 4.
I've seen it. I've seen a guy named Mike. I think the guy named Mike Gates there one day, and he showed up late. Didn't even get a practice swing, and he's on my team. We had a 9-iron into the green.
That's crazy. That is just crazy.
Wild, you know. So,
and we have a friend, a listener, I should say, and he's a good friend now, JD, who came down from Oakland, and he brought a friend who played football at West Point. And he's got a young 10th grader who wants to play D1 golf. And, when they told me that, I was like, well, that's lofty goals. And then they told me that the 10th grader drove the 16th green. 10th grade.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You did that when you were in 10th grade, didn't you?
Of course I did. All right, so it's opening day, George. What do you think of this ball club? Could the Dodgers be even better?
Well, I think like last year, they had target on their back.
Yep.
And they enjoyed it. They enjoyed the target.
Yep.
They enjoyed people shooting at them. The fans love. Let's go! Let's beat the Dodgers. Beat LA.
Beat LA. Yeah, everybody's got that chant. Yep.
So that's why they create a lot of interest, and people complain about their payroll, but you know what? Everybody else got the same shot and don't do it. So anyway, everybody doesn't have the same amount of money for sure.
Yeah, but nobody reinvests like the Dodgers.
From top to bottom, minor leagues to the big leagues, to the office staff, to Dave Roberts and his staff, and the players, they don't take just anybody on that team.
That's right.
You better have Mookie or Freddie stand up for you before they ever get you in a trade. So they've got all the boxes checked. Now it's a matter of staying healthy.
Absolutely.
And so I tell you though, Ralph, you know what? Opening day, I was on a television show earlier today. I'll tell you, opening day is like no other day in baseball.
You're right.
The chills up down your spine. The fans are all excited. It's brand new. I was involved. I got to pitch in 2 opening days. One of them was in Cincinnati, which is a great baseball town. It used to be the first game every year.
Every year.
Right?
Yep. They were the only game on opening day.
They brought me in to pitch in relief of Milt Pappas. And Ernie Banks is up, and I'm scared to death.
Ernie Banks.
And he hits a rocket to shortstop for a double play. I walk off, man, that was nothing. So I ended up pitching the game, saving, man, we went to some club afterwards. Man, I was the hero of the club, man. They were buying me drinks, and girls would come over. You the guy, oh, man, I love what, yakky yak. So
must be nice.
So then I went to the Cardinals. I got to pitch the home opener in 1970 against the reigning world champion New York Mets. And I'm warming up, and the fans in St. Louis are going crazy because they're introducing all these new guys. They introduced Richie Allen. The people were applauding, stood up for 10 minutes applauding.
I believe
Allen had just got traded from Philly. And so I'm warming up. Well, I got so excited. I was throwing so hard, and next thing I know, my elbow was squeaking. I'm going, whoa, no, what happened? But I got warmed up so fast and so excited, I hurt my elbow, and it affected me the rest of my career.
Wow.
I won that game. I got to win against the Mets. We started off the season with, I think we started off the season 4-0 that year with the Cardinals. But anyway, they dumped me in June. See you later. Go somewhere else. So I did.
Tough way to make a buck.
But anyway, it's the only thing probably compares to is the first game of the World Series when they introduced everybody. I can't imagine ever doing that because I never got to do it. But it's opening day. It makes your hair stand up on your arms, even if you're a fan.
Yep, absolutely.
The players are.
Absolutely. Chris and I both wearing our respective jerseys. He's got his Philly jersey on. I've got my Jackie Robinson jersey on. There's nothing like opening day. We're talking with George Culver. Tell us what you know about Jake Cousins, this kid that we signed late, coming off of Tommy John surgery. You know anything about this guy?
What's his name?
Jake Cousins. I'll tell you what the.
No, I think I heard about him. He came from somewhere didn't even pitch last year. Right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what the Times says. The right-hander Jake Cousins, who was rehabbing from Tommy John surgery, was signed to a 1-year deal, as revealed on the team's transaction page on Tuesday. 1-year contract is worth $950,000 with incentives that could bring the total to $1 million if he makes at least 5 appearances, finishes the season on the active roster. The Athletic reporter. Cousins underwent Tommy John surgery last June. He's 31. He's already spent the whole season on the 60-day IL, and in 2024, he posted a 2.37 ERA and 37 relief appearances for the Yankees. So, I mean, when he's healthy, he ain't bad.
We gave up somebody pretty good for him, didn't we?
I don't know, to be honest.
I thought we gave up somebody pretty good for him, but anyway, good. I mean, the Dodgers are pretty good at scouting, knowing, their minor league system is the best. They got the best minor league system, not because of money, but because they have the best scouts.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Angels, the reputation of the Angels, they have the worst scouting system in baseball. And guess where they finish every year?
Yeah.
So, anyway,
what do you think of Alex? What do you think of Alex Freeland making the club and the Dodgers sending Son Kim down to Oklahoma City?
Oh, Kim got. I didn't see that. Kim
Yeah. Yeah, they said they want him to play every day, which makes sense.
Yeah, he's a great. He's down there playing, and so somebody's going to get hurt. You know that.
Yeah, he'll be up.
He didn't come up because he didn't play the outfield. He played the infield.
Mm-hmm.
I like watching him hit. He's kind of funny to watch him. He's a typical Asian guy hitting, but no, I like him. I like him a lot, and he did a good job for him last year.
He did.
Although his average wasn't that great in the end, it was pretty good to start with, but then he kind of faded. But
And it's always good to have a little speed on the ball club, but he's about all the speed we have, isn't he?
oh, he could fly. I mean,
Yeah.
he's one of the best. The one guy that I have a lot of questions about is Tucker.
Yeah.
I do not think he's worth $240 million.
No.
If he does, great.
No.
I don't see I can pay him $60 million a year. I just don't see it. I don't see where they come with the idea that he could help him for that kind of money. That's not far off from what Ohtani makes.
Yeah, it really is when you analyze it. And no, he's not worth it. He's a career 272 hitter, meaning that it's probably unlikely he's going to hit higher than that. But, behind Ohtani, they got him in the second spot. Maybe he can move around. I don't know. I didn't understand it either, George, to be honest with you. But
well, they don't make a lot of bad moves.
Yeah.
I thought the guy last year they had playing the outfielder hit about 180. They let him go.
What was his name? The guy we got from the Mets, who I couldn't stand, Michael
Conforto.
Conforto. Yeah, Conforto. That's one of the few mistakes.
He couldn't hit me.
Yeah, and Tanner Scott gave up a 3-run home run the other night against the Angels. Did you see that? I'm like, is he still in California?
He's still under contract. They're only for 2 more years, I think. He got a big man. I think it's 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. And so, he's going to have to kick it in the butt, or that's going to be. They're going to have a decision on him. They're going to let him go, get rid of him, send him to minor league. Something's got to give because he had a year of like 1 something the year before. Last year it was like 5 something.
Right.
And so I don't know. I think Diaz seems to be good.
Let's hope he could be the answer.
They got some other guys. They got some other guys in there that are kind of, Bessie has done a good job, and they got some guys in that bullpen that they have a good. The good thing is they have a good starting rotation.
Yeah. You know who I like out there? I like Roboliski.
Oh yeah, he's a little tiger, man, little tiger
He is.
guy, and he comes in with Bessie is the same way. Bessie is into it. When he gets in, he's into it. And
Gratterall is out there. He's about to get healthy. And
is he throwing?
No, he's not healthy quite yet, but he'll be ready at some point. Like I said at the top of the show, we're one of the few clubs. We're getting ready for September and October. We're not.
They did it last year.
Yeah, we're not.
They did it last year.
Yeah, we're looking at the bigger picture, knowing that we'll be there and we got to be ready when we get there. Yep,
their pitching was solid. By the time they got to the playoffs, his pitching was solid, and Ohtani was fresh basically, and Glassman was fresh, and Yamamoto, he was ready to go. I mean, it was a tremendous effort by the starting rotation last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the starting rotation, I'll leave you with this. Have you heard the Shohei Ohtani rumor?
That he wants to win the Cy Young Award?
Yes. That's his goal this year, to win the Cy Young.
Yeah.
And I'm not betting against him, George.
No way.
I'm really not. He wanted 50-50, and he went out and got it. And now he wants to be the Cy Young. I'm not going to say a word against him.
No, I wouldn't either. You can't bet anything against this guy. How bad it looks at the plate. You look at him, he's got 50 home runs.
Yeah.
Knocked in 110.
Yeah.
Or he could steal bases as much as he wanted.
Exactly. But now that
he don't want to because
he's pitching.
They don't want him doing that.
Yeah. The only reason he stole 50 because that year he didn't pitch.
Right.
So he said, screw it. I'm going to take off every time I can. But
He probably had a goal in mind going 50-50. 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases.
Absolutely. All right, George, I appreciate you coming out to the golf tournament on Monday. It's always good to see you, my friend. I appreciate you coming on the show and taking the time.
I hope there's success out there. It's really great cause, of course. And,
absolutely. And yes.
I look forward to seeing you somewhere, Ralphie.
Yeah, we still need to get out and play some golf.
When you get paid, let me know.
Very good. Very good. All right, George, take care.
Take care.
All right, man. George Culver. I'm not going to tell it. Chris is like, he's going to tell his true George Culver story. No, I'm not. But he did give me the best golf tip I ever heard. when bouncing around in the cart, hold your beer. Because if you leave it in the slot, it'll go flat on you. And I was like, wow, that is brilliant. I thought it was going to give me a golf tip, but that is absolutely brilliant. Hold your beer up. Don't put it in the slot in the cart. You're bouncing around. You got to hold your beer up. Quick timeout. We'll check the board, see what y'all are talking about. We'll talk about the IOC decision to ban biological males from playing with biological females in the Olympics. Perhaps this will be the shot that bursts the dam and ends the idiocy that has dominated sports here in the United States. Talk about that. Kind of preview the Sweet 16 that is already underway. We'll get you some scores. And Dodger baseball is set to get going in about 9 minutes. First pitch, Yoshinobu Yamamoto will take the bump. In the meantime, you're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Friday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. We'll take you into the weekend with the absolute latest on Iran. Any movement on the possibility of an agreed-to peace we will discuss. Plus, what are oil and gas prices doing? How does the Strait of Hormuz look? And what else do you need to know as we head you into the weekend? All that coming your way. Friday edition, don't miss it. Come hang with us on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The Kern Radio studios are powered by Adaptive Networks. For all your IT needs, call Adaptive Networks at 661-241-0638. You know, we have Jennifer and Ryan Van Alstyne in every other Wednesday. One of the things that we've learned in talking with them is it's not just whether you're happy with your IT provider, but can your IT provider protect your information? We learned that there are scammers out there, who knows better than I, that can not only steal your content, but hold it hostage and contact you and threaten to either destroy it or give out codes and your information to other buyers. That's why you should team up with the folks at Adaptive Networks. They're safe, secure, and they're incredibly expedient. And as I've talked about constantly, when you're running a radio station and your IT goes down, you can't have them call you and say, yeah, well, we'll be out there on Monday or tomorrow. No. That's what Adaptive Networks is all about. They react immediately, no phone calls, no answering machine. They're going to respond. Give them a call at 241-0638. That's 241-0638, or hit them online at adaptive-net.com.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day. No one can beat us, no one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare, we don't care. Take a look our way and come into Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Pet stains on your carpet? Carpet Outlet Plus has everything you need to make your floors pet-proof. With over 100 in-stock waterproof floors, Carpet Outlet Plus can solve your pet problems for good. We also stock over 50 colors of pet-perfect carpet. Call, click, or come by today for your free in-home estimate. Don't forget, for the do-it-yourselfer, we also offer free next-day delivery on all qualifying stock floors. And as a bonus, go to carpetoutletplus.com and apply for 12 months no-interest financing. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
The smartest self-defense decision isn't made in the moment. It's made before danger ever appears. Because when you pull a firearm trigger, you're not just stopping a threat. You may be starting a chain of legal, financial, and emotional consequences that can follow you for years. That's why more responsible Americans are choosing to lead with less lethal force. Byrna less lethal launchers fire tear gas and kinetic rounds designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to escape, create distance, and get help without using deadly force. It's a smarter first response. Your college-age kids can carry it. Your spouse can use it. Even aging parents can handle it confidently. Byrna's best-selling compact launcher is sleek, slim, and incredibly powerful, built for discreet everyday carry. Byrna is proudly hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. More than 750,000 have been sold worldwide, making Byrna a trusted leader in personal safety. And it's legal in all 50 states. No background checks. Ships directly to your door. Protect yourself. Protect your future. Start with less lethal. Visit Byrna.com today and find the right launcher for your family. That's BYRNA.com.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I feel something creeping in and I'm tired of this town again.
I forgot to ask George the single most important question of the day.
Which is?
Where can I get a good hot dog tonight?
Ooh, good question.
I'm not feeling Doreen or Schnitzel. Normally I am, but I'm not feeling it. I'm feeling like more of a long dog.
Okay, hear me out.
Yeah.
Sonic.
Sonic
has a solid dog.
It's right down the street.
They do the foot long coney.
Ooh, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a foot long.
I would go Sonic.
Sonic, really?
I like Sonic's food. It gets a lot of, it gets a bad rap.
The Sonic burger's not bad.
I don't think so either.
The Sonic burger's not bad. Laura used to love Sonic. She loved the Slurpee thing.
The drinks are the best part.
That's the only reason she would go.
That and the ice cream, and don't get me wrong, I've gone to Sonic my entire life. But yes, the hot dog there is pretty good.
The only time to Sonic was when I was dating Lori, and she loved. It's like a sarsaparilla. It's like a mixture of different stuff, and it's a big Slurpee, and she would get that like every day. How come white people don't have diabetes like black folks? No, I'm kidding. Yes, I know you have diabetes. 842-5376. I might do that. That is walking distance from my house. It's just on the other side of, not that I'm walking there particularly now. I've got gout again. You believe that? It's in my hip. And the guys from Highway 99 Collective in that assortment bag that Chris Burdick gives me the evil eye about every time I bring up, which I still have not gotten to the bottom of the bag, by the way. I've just pulled out some things. There's still a bag sitting at the end of my night table. But part of it was CBD oil. And they said, rub it on my hip and it'll help my gout. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. Rubbing a little CBD oil on it, brother. 842-5376, 842-KERN. Anything to clean up before we get to the bottom of the hour?
Just one. It says, Will Ferrell just cruised into Dodger Stadium in a 1977 lowrider Cadillac.
Well, of course he did. Where's don't tell me, not Fitty. Where's Ice Cube? I thought he was like the guy that drives in the Impala. Isn't that what he did for the championship when we celebrated?
I believe so, but yeah.
And that light blue Impala.
Trying to think of Big Three or whatever his league is going right now.
Oh, that basketball thing he does?
Yeah. I don't think it is, but
isn't that centered in Vegas?
Yes.
Isn't that the home in Vegas?
Yes.
God, it's about to be first pitch. Are we going to put it up here?
You can, but
and don't. I DVR'd it. We don't get 17, do we? And why is it on 17? NBC's doing baseball now? They've rolled this out so badly. NBC is so stupid. Like they're on, I love Charles and the boys, but I never know when they're on. You know what I'm saying? I never know when there's an NBA game on. I missed the Laker game once it was on NBC because I didn't think to look at NBC. They rolled it out badly. They should have been locally pumping that thing up huge.
So they're doing this because they're trying to get into the streaming game of it all.
Yeah.
They're competing with Netflix over a lot of these.
Oh, so yeah. Because that's where we're headed.
It's them and Peacock.
That's where we're headed. It's all going to, in 5 years, it'll all be streaming. And in 7, maybe 10, we'll be paying for the Super Bowl. You watch. I pray I'm wrong, but you watch. Last half hour of the broadcast. It's TRBS. I'd stick around if I you.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With us on news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says he will sign an order instructing the Homeland Security Secretary to immediately pay Transportation Security Administration workers as Congress struggles to reach a deal. It's an extraordinary move that comes as senators are reviewing a last and final offer to end the funding impasse that has jammed airports and disrupted travel. President Trump has also delayed a threatened U.S. strike on Iran's energy infrastructure and extended a deadline for reopening the Strait of Hormuz until April 6th. Trump says talks with Iran to end the war are going well, saying Iranian leaders were begging to make a deal. Tehran has dismissed Trump's 15-point ceasefire plan. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 469. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. No arrest has been announced yet, and no ID has been given on a woman who was found with severe injuries last night at a house on College Avenue and who died at Kern Medical. Bakersfield PD is calling it a homicide. They did not say how the woman was killed. A former employee of the Dolores Huerta Foundation is suing, claiming they fired her over a fuss she kicked up about what she says was misused grant money. Ruth Sanchez also claims she was never paid for lots of overtime. The foundation says she was let go in an organizational realignment and is being reserved about any further comment. Gas in California, $5.83 on average, says Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Get ready for the 11th annual Mac and Cheese Fest, happening Saturday, May 9th at the Kern County Fairgrounds from 2 to 6 p.m. This year's event is going to be bigger and better than ever. Enjoy endless servings of mac and cheese, along with refreshing beers, spiked seltzers, cocktails, and live music. Tickets are on sale now. For more information and to grab your tickets, visit BakersfieldMacandCheeseFest.com. Happening Saturday, May 9th at the Kern County Fairgrounds from 2 to 6 p.m.
This event benefits the Bakersfield Ronald McDonald House.
Friday's Armstrong and Getty Show. The deadline with Iran is looming. The Marines are on the way, and the world is watching to see what happens.
And of course, anything that happens in this crazy world, we will bring it to you with some honest perspective. A great story out of the world of the NCAA tournament. A player has scored 7 points all year, but is considered a critical part of that team's chances on the next Armstrong and Getty Show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Well, I was chopping it up with Randy a little bit, but I'm hobbling, man. I don't think, God, what is it, Thursday? I got a tea time Saturday. I think it'll be over by Saturday. I just took another colchicine. I took one this morning, and I was like, what did I eat? I've been eating well. I just Just went to the doctor, found out I lost like 7 pounds. I'm down to 187. I haven't been 187 since I had my jaw broken when I was like 175 at one point. I looked sick. People thought I had AIDS. Do you know somebody came up to the golf tournament and asked me if I was on
Ozempic
or something? Yeah. And I was like, I've been thinner or in decent shape for like 6 years now.
See, but that's
It's not like
everybody's
it's-
thought process is now if you lost weight, you had to have used something.
Of
to do it. You
course.
couldn't have done it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, no, some people could actually do it themselves.
Yeah. When the threat of death enters your life, you'll change your habit. I trust me on this. Because one of the keys to my losing weight was drinking water. And I've talked about this. My high blood pressure episode started when I was about 54, 55 years old. And up until that point, when G told me, you've got to change the way you eat, you've got to change your life, I never drank water. Never. Like never. Like would go to the restaurant and that glass of water would sit there. Never drank water. My hydration was one of these, but it was orange and it said Sun-Kissed on it. And it sat in the door of my refrigerator. And I'd wake up hungover and I'd open the refrigerator. That's how I hydrated myself. Seriously. And I started drinking water. Then I started doing laps around my apartment complex. And I just started eating right. And that's how I lost the 7 pounds recently. If you follow the show, you know that my A1C jumped into the 6s. And I just wasn't having it. And I had a recent blood test because I had an MRI yesterday. And so I really wanted my A1C to come down. So I just stopped eating a lot of sandwiches. I cut out pasta and bread and stuff like that. And just by changing the way I ate, I lost 7 pounds. Wasn't even trying. I was happy at 195. I really was. But, and that'd be 8 pounds because I got a 480 on math SAT, 197, 180, but whatever. It's all about what you put in your body. It really is. That's the one thing that I've learned. That it's just about selecting. It's not easy. Don't get me wrong. And it ain't cheap either. You know, it's much cheaper for me to go down to Sonic and get a hot dog than it is for me to get something healthy. By the way, Mr. Burdick, good news for me, and I think I'm going to take your advice. Guess who's on Uber Eats?
Oh, yeah.
Because I wasn't walking down to Chester Avenue.
No.
Just on the other side of Jack in the Box, totally within walking distance. Hell, the KCCD office that I walk to once or twice a month is right down the street. It's even further than Sonic. So it's in fact, the backyard. So I could walk, but not with this bum hip. But I can certainly order. What do you suggest I order? Foot-long, quarter-pound, chili cheese coney.
That's kind of what I was about to ask you. Is like, what are you kind of looking for? Are you looking for a chili cheese kind of a thing? Do you want a traditional hot dog?
Chili coney, not a chili cheese. I don't need the cheese.
You could probably get the chili cheese coney without cheese on it.
The foot-long quarter-pounder looks good though too. What's the difference between the coney and the foot-long quarter-pounder?
That I'm not 100% sure. I think the foot-long is like the long one, but the coney might just be thicker.
And there's an all-American dog.
So the all-American dog is just a regular hot dog, but that's what I was going to tell you. That has like all the fixings on it. Your
Right.
Ketchup, mustard, relish, onions, all that. That's actually my favorite to go to for whatever day.
Really?
I like that one.
I'm going to do one of both. I'm going to do the all-American, and I'm going to do the chili coney without cheese.
There you go.
Because the quarter-pounder, I think, you could do that just by your damn self.
Yeah, probably.
It's the most expensive. That's $8, $7.80. The coney's $5.36, and the all-American is $5.36. So I'm assuming they're a lot smaller than the quarter-pounder.
Yes.
So I'll go with those two.
That's what I'm
And
saying. If you want like the long one, I think that's the quarter-pounder one.
yeah, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go with two. And what kind of, do they have decent fries? I can't.
I like the fries.
Really?
Yeah.
I should.
Or you can go tots.
I don't do tots.
I do tots?
No, I don't do tots. Too salty.
Fries are good then.
I shouldn't do fries. I just do the dogs. I should just do the dogs. Yeah, it's opening day. No fries. And you don't eat fries with a dog.
Nah, not really.
No, not really. You really don't. Fries are more of a hamburger thing.
Mozzarella sticks are pretty good up over there as well.
Over there, really?
I like them.
It's kind of hard to screw up mozzarella sticks. That used to be one of my favorite bar foods. When I was in college in Atlanta, we used to go to Bennigan's Tavern and sit at the bar and split mozzarella sticks and have like 8 or 9 cocktails. God, the way I drank when I was young, just crazy. We'd sit, Ron Williams and I would sit at the Bennigan's Tavern from like 5 to 9. They had a great happy hour. It was 2 for 1. You never lived in the happy hour era, did you? The 2 for 1s.
I mean, we had happy hour, but it wasn't the same thing that you guys had.
There was a place, Chris, in Atlanta in 1982. They stayed open for 9 months. But you talk about the best club I've ever been to for 9 months. And I'm not going to say what I'm going to say, that black folks ruined it. I'm not going to say that, Chris. I'm not going to say that. The young black folks acting stupid absolutely ruined it. But it was 3 for 1. It was 3 for 1. It was 4 to 7. And what we would do is we would wait. We would wait till about 5:30. Why would we wait? Starts at 4, ends at 7. Why would we come in about 5:30? 3 for 1.
I'm sorry. Everybody's out of their first round?
By the time you get there at 5 o'clock, all the girls are like, "Hi, Ralph." You see what I'm saying? I mean, if they order one round, these are 18-year-old girls straight from Des Moines, Iowa. They've had 3 drinks by the time you get there. And then you get there at 5 and you go, "Can I buy you another round?" Sure. They're on their 4th or 5th drink. I've never met a woman that can knock down 5 or 6 cocktails and not be like, "Hi, Ralph. How are you? What? Go home with you?" Sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it was the craziest place where literally it's the only place in my life I've ever been, maybe save St. Patrick's Day and Cinco de Mayo and days like that, but where you walk into the bar and to a person, everybody's hammered. Because it was 3 for 1. And I don't know if you've been around young collegiate women lately, but you give a young 18, 19, 20-year-old girl 3 cocktails, and she's very happy. And oftentimes very affectionate. I know I'm the devil, but let's face it, when you're young, alcohol is the great aphrodisiac, and don't even try to deny it. Don't even try. Some of y'all had kids because of liquor, so don't even come and shame me. Just say it. And we're talking about what? 45 years ago? Brandy Wine Downs is what it was called. It was right cat-a-corner to the Fox Theater on Peachtree Avenue in Atlanta. And I guess I already said it. The black kids, it spread around the AU Center, Morehouse, Spelman, Morris Brown, Clark University, Atlanta University, which is now one school now, but this is in the 80s. And it was nothing but young black kids. And like Adam and Eve, we ruined it in 9 months. Fights, throwing glasses, breaking furniture. We had heaven in Atlanta, and we couldn't handle it.
Yeah, to be fair with that business, the idea that wasn't going to last very long at all.
No, 3 for 1, where you're just getting young kids crappy drunk.
Ain't no way.
No, it's not sustainable.
The amount of money you must have lost on that alone. Are you nuts?
You're right. It's not
3
sustainable.
for 1?
3 for 1. I've never seen it anyplace else. And I'm telling you,
that's good reason for it.
It was it was crazy. It really was. And I remember talking to the owner, and he said, "You know what my biggest problem is?" We're like, "What?" "Glasses. Glasses. We run out of glasses with you kids."
Well, yeah.
Yeah, when you're given, I mean, imagine 4 girls walk in. That's 12 glasses.
Exactly.
Right there at one table. It was great, though. Brandy Wine Downs. I'll never forget it. And they had a terrace, and then somebody fell off it was just Adam and Eve. We took a bite of the apple. We really did. We had heaven in downtown Atlanta.
See, what they should have done is a drink and 2 shots.
Ooh.
That's
even worse.
Is it though?
Shots are dangerous.
Shots are dangerous. You're absolutely correct.
Shots have gotten me into a lot of trouble, boy. You know, the last time I did shots, like a lot of shots, this was literally the case. Oh, God, man. Who is that? Who am I in bed with? And then I tried to lift up the sheets, and I was like, oh my God. And it was like a friend of mine. His name was Robert. No, I'm kidding. Come on, that was a little funny. Robert, no? Gay, me? Please. Final break of the night. Dodgers Diamondbacks are underway. I don't want to hear any news. Mike Parrott, let me warn right now, we're 15 minutes into the season. Big dog.
You know he's going to do it.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I'm DVRing it. This is what I'm going to do when I get home, big dog. I'm going to eat my dog. I'm going to watch Pardon the Interruption. I'm going to watch some of the games. And then around 7 o'clock, I'm going to start the Dodger game from the beginning. It will be almost over, but I'm going to start it right around 7 from the beginning. So, Big Dog, who else is guilty of this? Arié is guilty of this. Zucchini is a DVR guy, so he knows the deal. But I don't want to hear from any of my friends like, yeah, did you see what Shohei just did? No, I didn't. Don't want to hear about it. Chillax, chillax, chillax. In the meantime, keep it locked. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. Tomorrow's a Friday. The Bakersfield Women's Conference is coming up. We're going to meet one of their representatives tomorrow. And, of course, Rick Bentley will be here at 3:30. And I'm surprised Brandon Lang hasn't called us to try to chime in on the Sweet 16.
Yeah, actually, I am too. I haven't heard anything from this guy.
Do you want to call him? It's up to you. I'd go either way.
Can we just wait until the Elite Eight?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or maybe even the Final Four.
Yeah, Final Four.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Final break of the night. Keep it locked. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Thursday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk.
You know, JD thinks that
AM 1180
Brandon is money.
KERN.
He says he
The
takes
JR
Brandon's
Show,
tips all the
weekdays
time.
at 2 p.m.
Nobody's talking about that self-worth and purpose.
No, he is really good. I meant to take his tips last time I was in Vegas, but I forgot to write them down.
Yeah.
You're ready to go whenever you are.
All I remember is the night of his wedding, when he gave us all the BYU tickets, and we went over to the Fontainebleau to watch it. And he just kept saying, "No, it's okay. We'll be all right." I think they won, but they didn't cover. You ready? 3, 2. I'm just not going to get involved in pointing fingers at county supervisors or even the DA's office for accepting contributions because it's public record. There's laws. And just because you gave money and you get a solid from that supervisor or that from the DA's office doesn't make it nefarious, doesn't make it illegal, doesn't make it something. You got to come up with a thesis. this happened and this happened, therefore this happened. Unless you can prove some sort of serious conflict, I'm just not getting involved with it. 3, 2, it's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Friday TRBS. Well, it's a Friday. Do we have a Karnak tomorrow? Did he say that? I thought he did. 3, 2, it's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Friday TRBS. Our good friend, KGET entertainment reporter Rick Bentley, and along with him, Karnak the Magnificent. And the Bakersfield Women's Conference is coming up. We'll meet one of their representatives as well. All that, plus Dodger results. The season is underway. And me at 3, TRBS, News Talk 96.1, AM 1180, KERN. I'll see you at 3.
To look a lot like the motherland. It's time to dust off those clubs.
At CentralCoastGolfCart.com, 11 premier California golf experiences are just $125. Enjoy fresh greens, ocean breezes, and the best golf landscapes in the state for the rest of the year. Why pay full price when you could play more and save more? Visit CentralCoastGolfCart.com today and start swinging into spring.
CentralCoastGolfCart.com. More golf, less green.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
You know, I'm kind of messing around with another man. I love the radio industry. I'm getting flooded with Sonic reviews. You want to hear them?
Sure.
My good friend Jose at Agape Air, my air conditioning clients. By the way, Jose, where are you? Are they on our client list?
I haven't seen
Jose, what happened there, bro? And why the salesperson didn't call me in to talk to you to keep you on with us, I don't understand. But get back on board with Carnadia, my brother. Anyway, he says pretzels there are really good. You ever had a Sonic pretzel?
No, I haven't.
I'm a pretzel fan, but a little too much salt for the kid. Even though my blood pressure yesterday was 120/77. Bam! Bam! And I only weigh 187 pounds. Bam! You know what? I'm having pretzel.
You're $1.87.
Yeah, you didn't hear me say that yesterday?
I did not hear that part. No, that's pretty good.
I know. You didn't hear the whole part where I said the lady bagged on me because I took my shoes off?
No, I heard that part, but I never heard you actually say a number.
Yeah, it was 187, down from 195. And I was, like I said, I wasn't even trying to lose weight. I was just trying to limit my carbs and get my A1C down. And then, of course, my blood test, they didn't check the A1C after all that I did. So guess what I did yesterday? I went to Arco and I got the 2-for-1 Hershey bars. I really did. You think I'm lying? You think I'm making that up, Chris Burdick?
No, I believe you.
You think I'm lying?
I know you're going to pull it out.
You think I'm lying? A little soft, but I'll put it in the freezer.
Oh, yeah, she melted.
No, she's not melted. She's still hard. That's what she said. Anyway, Mark Swain chiming in as well. Swain says, Sonic, thumbs up.
See?
And my buddy Michael says, do the quarter pounder.
Oh.
You think? As opposed to the 2, the All-American and the what is it, Coney?
The All-American and the chili cheese coney. But again, it's up to you.
Is there chili on the quarter pounder? I don't think so.
I believe you can.
I'm sure I could. Yeah, I'm sure I could add it.
And actually, that's probably an easier way to go if you just want chili on it.
So you think I should just go the quarter pounder, 1 quarter pounder with the chili, bing bang? That's
probably yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best way, as opposed to 2. Because what would I do if I don't finish the second one? I don't have a huge appetite, especially now that I've lost weight. My stomach is smaller. I really don't have a big appetite. I really don't. So what do you think? Quarter pounder or the 2, All-American and the Clooney and the cone? I'm gonna make it your call. The 2 or the 1? We should take a poll. We got a couple of minutes. Everybody, what should I do?
Yeah.
Do I get the All-American, which is a smaller dog because it's cheaper than the quarter pounder dog at Sonic, and the chili Coney, which is also $5.36, so it must be smaller, or do I get the $7.86 quarter pound dog with chili? Let's do a little quick survey. In the meantime, while they're climbing in, because we're on a delay, what do you got on the board?
Actually, we are bare at the moment.
Yeah, all right. I didn't get a chance to talk about the IOC and their ban on biological male athletes, and not a better decision could have been made, obviously, and hopefully this will be the Humpty Dumpty that brings down, no, that's not a good analogy, the beginning of the Berlin Wall coming down. I don't know. It'll put some common sense in sports, and it highlights that one of the biggest sports operations, the International Olympic Committee, has determined. I mean, is there an older committee than the Olympics? Do sports go any further than Greece and the beginning of the marathon that we just had here? And these people are declaring, no, if you have a penis, you are a man. I don't care if you wear a dress and stockings and a wig and eyelashes. I don't care if you have that penis removed. You are still XY. You are a male. I don't care what's going on in your chrome dome. You can think whatever you want. I even saw, what's her name? Caitlyn, promoting this as a great decision. And you know what Caitlyn I'm talking about, don't you? Not Clark, but Jenner. Dude, it is so bizarre to be watching Fox News and to see Bruce Jenner in a wig talking about these things. I mean, I was in 9th grade when he won the damn thing. And we had not won, what did he win? The decathlon?
Decathlon.
We had not won that since the 50s. A local guy, Rayford Johnson and Bob Mathias. And I'm in 9th grade, and we finally, there was a black guy that threatened in the early 70s, but he failed. And then here comes Bruce Jenner in 76, dude, on top of the Wheaties box with the waving. And you know, and then he married well, because I think Kris Kardashian is an attractive woman. You know, I still think she's an attractive woman. She's older than I am. And she's loaded. I'm sure dealing with that family could not have been pleasant. Good googly moogly. But his two girls aren't fairly normal, aren't they? Kendall and what's the one that's dating Chalamet?
Kendall and Kylie.
Kylie. They're fairly normal. And Kylie, actually, you know, Kim is an accidental billionaire. She's an accidental billionaire.
Yes.
But Kylie actually did it on her own. Did she not? Is that a fair?
She did do the
makeup thing is what got going for her.
Fashion thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've had some messy moments like their sisters, though, to be fair.
Are you kidding me? They're a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
They're an absolute nightmare. The whole bunch
so I can't necessarily say they're normal, but I guess normal for what they grew up in.
Exactly. Entitlement out there in Calabasas.
Could have been way worse.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They could be drug addicts. They could be,
honestly, to be fair, Kim and the rest of the daughters on that side, too, could be way worse.
They've never been in jail.
I think Kim's trying to be an actual lawyer, isn't she? Or at least
she can't pass the bar. She can't pass the bar. The only bar she's going to pass is at a restaurant in Calabasas. They've never been in jail. It's like the Jacksons. Whatever you want to say about the Jackson 5, other than the threats that Michael was going to go to jail, but the Kardashians have never been in jail. They're not alcoholics. They like to drink. They like to party, but they've never had a DUI. They've never had any issues. They're not addicted to anything. And they're all freaking multimillionaires.
The only reason they're really known is because Daddy was one of OJ's lawyers.
Robert Kardashian was, in fact, part of the Dream Team, and a lot of people think that Kardashian was the one that got rid of the infamous bag with the infamous knife. But that's a discussion for another day. In the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. Go Dodgers!
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says substantial negotiations are going on with Iran even as airstrikes continue across the Middle East. Trump envoy Steve Witkoff says the U.S. has given Iran a peace proposal.
We have, along with your foreign policy team, presented a 15-point action list that forms the framework for a peace deal. This has been circulated through the Pakistani government, acting as the mediator.
Iranian officials have denied that they're negotiating with the U.S. Meanwhile, gasoline prices continue to soar.
According to AAA, the national average for gasoline is just under $4 at $3.98 a gallon. Drivers in the western U.S., though, are paying even more. The average gallon for regular gas is $5.30 in Washington and $5.83 in California.
Correspondent Greg Clugston. Air travelers are experiencing the highest wait times ever under the Transportation Security Administration. At Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, traveler James Person, who is trying to fly to Knoxville, says there's only one entity to blame.
The crowds have been really friendly. The staff's been great. The ICE guys and TSA guys